Fingers crossed. I think we're here. So this is Iodithis. Welcome back. I'm your not so humble host and dungeon master of the Quiet Kenku, and we're back after a few weeks and a move and finals and all kinds of other things going on in personal lives. So hope you all are doing well. I'm going to be eating, so don't mind me, and we're gonna hop right in so we don't waste too much time. Now, you all players and watchers need a bit of a recap. I think it's been long enough. Um, so I'm trying to remember exactly what the beginning of last session, because for me the last few have blurred together. But here's what I will say: you all are currently in the city of Kingsport and have been there not very long, and some of you were. There were secrets revealed of one of the party members here. Their past, that being Tillsman, in the past known as Aurelie, who had been kind of working for and alongside someone who is revealed to be Keen, the god of death, a god that is not quite forgotten, little really known of them, aside from the fact that they are generally not considered one of the good ones. Although, can you really consider them any of the good ones? You all got Kingsley back from Serena, the goddess of knowledge, who had inhabited his body, and she seems to have been purged, at least for now. You don't know if it's permanent, but you kind of assume, at least for now, that is that. Solon ended up going his own way and is now out of the city, as there was an announcement made by Keen that a danger would be there that you know to be the bomb. He's threatened to use it on the city. You also encountered a man who you all found to be Aenir, the god of light and life, although he seemed to not know who he was, and after touching the lance that Kingsley owned, seemed to come back into himself. You all are now formulating a plan to get out of the city. There are various different ways you can get out. Kingsley's family, the Grimms, have offered to allow you to use these vehicles that they own. There's also the train. However, all airships out of the city are either gone or leaving at the current moment, so that is not an option. Apologies, I'm checking a thing here, because there was a thing that existed. There we go. Okay. However, before we begin with any of the escaping or any of that, you all had expressed interest, since it is one of your birthdays, that being Zernus, in having a little bit of a meal before you leave, as is a sort of tradition with this group. So, some of you had wanted to make certain things, but with all the panic and the confusion and everything going on, certain ingredients may be a little harder to come by. However, Zernus, you are not allowed to cook. It is your birthday. However, you did express wanting to get one thing, which we will get to. That'll be the last one we do. Let's do the food first. And I'll start with Kingsley. I don't know if you sent me anything you wanted to make. So is there anything you want to make or buy or find?
Due to the circumstances, I don't think he's capable.
Okay, that is true. You are in a pretty poor state, and so going and getting something might be a little difficult. So you are taking the time to rest and wait for food. Okay. And then Drasen. I know what you sent me. Do you have anything in particular? Do you have any specifics you might want to look for? Or just something general like that?
No, something general.
Okay. So you go out and are looking for some sort of root vegetable. Go ahead and make me a either perception or investigation check. And while you do that, I'm going to have a piece of my sushi.
Investigation, because it's slightly more than my perception by one.
That is
A 14.
a 14. Now you are underground, so this actually is not super difficult. You leave the workshop just kind of looking around frantically. People are running all over the place, running this way and that, trying to find either a way out or pack their things. Most of the market stalls are closed. Wow, that's good wasabi. Um, and you are having trouble finding anything standard like that in like a market area. But you're passing a building and you see an alleyway and there's this glow from the alleyway. And it just immediately just catches your interest. And you look over there and there is a patch of what look like glowing blue mushrooms. And within the center of it, there appears to be what look like carrots, but they have a more purplish hue, more like a wild carrot rather than a can't think of the word, a domesticated carrot. And in there, there's some of those, and there also looks to be, at closer inspection, there also looks, it almost has more of a potatoy skin exterior. It's a weird mismatched mutation. With a 14, that's about what you find. You also could try to ransack one of the people as they're packing up their stall, because they are selling just like regular potatoes and things.
No, I'll try this thing. I'm not great at cooking, but I can try to make it as well.
Oh, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then go ahead for me, because you can just, you said you wanted to try to mash it, make like a mashed vegetable thing. Go ahead and just make me, I'll say just a flat dexterity check.
Okay.
Or strength.
Ooh,
I'll actually, you can choose that as well. Sorry.
a 13.
A 13. Okay. Less so using the just brute strength of mashing, more so like sort of the finesse of, pushing it down to the side a little bit. You're able to get it mashed. It's a little chunky. There's some chunks in there. And it does mash very much like a potato, despite its appearance. And you get a just kind of like mashed root vegetable. So that is what you make. That probably takes you maybe. Oh, hello. Oh yeah, feel free to try if you want. That probably takes you maybe 2 hours between the finding it, or I'll say more like an hour and a half between the finding it, getting it back, getting it made. About an hour and a half. Okay, and then I need to scroll back through here. Galliard will do you next. Here it is. I was looking for what you sent me. Okay. So yours is a little more complicated. It might take some looking. Go ahead and make me either perception or investigation check.
Perception or investigation? I'm gonna go with investigation. That's better.
Okay.
That's a total of 22.
22. Very good. And despite the fact of everything going on right now, you are able to actually go through and find a good number of the ingredients that you would need. A few of the more vegetable-based ingredients down here, a little harder to find, and getting up to the surface right now is a bit rough. Would you like to attempt, though, to go up toward the surface and maybe find something in that area? Or do you want to specifically be looking underground?
There's nothing that can be immediately found. I think, yeah, why not? Why not go
Okay.
for it?
With that roll, I'll say between going up the stairs or up the elevator, either way, and then also down where you are, you are able to find the majority of what you wanted. And so you want to do sort of like a vegetable soup, and you can find a number of things. It will take you more time to cook it. I'll say for you, thank you. For you, it's probably going to take a good, maybe mainly for the cooking, to be entirely honest, because soups take a while. Good soup takes time.
Yeah.
You can get everything in the pot and prepped within maybe an hour. I'll say maybe an hour and a half to gather and put in the pot. But for the actual simmering and everything, that would take maybe another hour or two. And of course, the longer you leave it simmering, the better it's gonna be. So yeah. But you are able to find it. Something I will note, as you're going around though, as you're up on the surface, moving around, you begin to feel the ground rumble and shake. And as you look down one of the streets, you see large automatons, some with legs, some with treads, some with wheels. These large automatons making their way through the streets of the city out toward the walls. There seems to be a mass exodus of people. Some of these automatons, you don't see a ton of people. You see like maybe one person on it. It seems to be maybe a personal creation being used to get out. Not a lot of people on these. But you do see quite a few and almost get run over by one. But able to easily kind of just, get out the way because they're not gunning for you. Just trying to get out.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, there's that. But you are able to get the food and things you want to make. Despite its elevated nature, you are able to find what you need with that roll. Maldette, is there anything you'd like to make or bring or try to find for the meal?
Whew. Honestly, I'm not focused on, like, Maldette wouldn't be focused on the, like, gathering whatsoever.
Mhm.
Like, he'd be there, but mentally he wouldn't be there.
And that's
Like,
entirely fair. That is entirely fair.
processing everything that has been happening, the current apparent threat that there is. I'm just like sitting there trying to figure out what to do next.
Okay. And you were going to say something, Kingsley? Yes. Yeah, it's good sushi, I know. Okay. Maldette, while you're sitting there, though, is there anything, besides just sitting there contemplating, is there anything you want to do during this time? Or are you just kind of sitting contemplating?
We're in the workshop, right? The
Correct.
Wix workshop.
Correct. Unless you'd like to have gone somewhere else. That is where you all were gathered.
Knowing that we're going to be here a while, can I go to the surface?
Sure. Anywhere specific or just to the, because going up the stairs or elevator, the lowest level would be the slums is where you would have entered to go down to the workshop. Do you just want to go up to there or somewhere else?
I just kind of want to fly around the whole city.
Okay.
As much as I can.
For sure. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Perception, you said? 22.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with a 22, you are getting an aerial view. And so you are going to see the automatons moving, as Galliard did. But specifically, you are going kind of flying around a bit, and you notice a few other things. Something you never really noticed before about the construction of the city, because it's just generally you've been walking through the streets, having places to go, or in a tavern, and because you guys spend a lot of your time in the upper city, you didn't really spend a lot of time down here. You notice that a lot of the buildings are almost segmented. They look like they, at certain areas, could almost come apart. And you watch people on bungees hanging from the buildings and almost walking up them toward where these segmented sections are, and seem to be using tools to unlatch latches from some of the buildings. Because the buildings here, they're not just skyscrapers that go straight up. There are bridges and support beams connecting them at various different levels. You kind of get the idea, and you don't really know why necessarily, but that even if a lower section of one of these towers was to fall or break off, the top sections would still be supported enough at certain places where they would stay connected. And you see people unlatching entire parts of buildings. So it's odd, but potentially something to do with the Exodus. Would be your best guess. You do see some of the trains leaving the city, as there are many of them, and you do see one of them leaving. You also see some of the automatons that are going through the streets and toward the wall, just stepping over the walls. The ones with legs are just stepping over the walls and making their way out of the city, off to somewhere. You see some of the last airships leaving, and they are just heading in various different directions, towards potentially different places. Most of them heading toward the east, though. Most of everything heading toward the east. And that's about what you get. That's about what you see. All right, and then check here. Wick, was there anything you might have sent something, but I'm just not seeing it. Is there anything you'd like to make or do during this time?
I mean, I would like to make yet another cake. I mean, the Mystic Moon cake is the only thing I'm really familiar with.
Okay.
That's just kind of,
That is a good one. And you definitely can.
I'm
You
sorry,
also had made the birthday cake, I believe.
No, I believe I believe Harley said
Oh,
the birthday cake was made by someone else. I remember correctly.
you're right.
I'm
Sorry,
just
I'm
making
getting my
the
things mixed up.
Yeah.
That's my bad. That is correct. Yeah, you made you had bought one, and that is still there. That because Solon had that and was left when Solon left. So yes, sorry about that. Yeah, you do. So you want to make a cake though?
Yeah, I want to make another cake for extra fun. I don't know, just for fun. Would I have to roll anything for that, or would I have to find the ingredients in my own home?
Um,
Or would I?
Go ahead. You are. Here's what I'll say. Make me an investigation or perception check, and I want you to do it with advantage because you are in your home, so it is reasonable you might have some on hand, but any you don't, you would have to find. So with advantage, I think is reasonable.
Alrighty. I got a 23.
23.
It was yes.
Okay. With a 23, I'm gonna say you have the majority on hand, and you have to go out and get like maybe one thing. But this is your home turf. Even with people packing things up, you kind of know where to find things. If one place is closed, you kind of know where to find the stuff. You find one guy who's open for a little bit longer, still has a few things out, and he doesn't even charge you for it. And for reference, none of you, this is going the idea you just find these things. None of you are charged anything for any of this. Most of the people are almost happy, and this is your case, Wick, here as well. The guy basically just gives you whatever you need because that's less stuff he has to carry. That's less stuff he has to get out.
Fair. And that's fair, and I appreciate that guy. Thanks to you, Robert. OG man. But yeah, yay.
Love that. So yeah, you get what you need. You can bake the cake, and yeah, I mean, most of the time that you take for that is the baking of it, which is like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're good. Okay, and then Tillsman. You said I saw you wanted to use a spell there to make some treats. And was that all you wanted to do for this? Or is there anything else you'd like to do during this time?
Yeah, pretty much just that. And once he's done like decorating the table and helping with that, he's pretty much just gonna sit at the end of it and just read or play with his new little ghost that he has now.
Okay. That works. Not much you really got to roll for that. That's using magical means to do that. Okay. So then I'll ask in general, besides, of course, the making of things and things like that, is there anything that any of you would like to do otherwise during this time?
I would like to get some food.
Ah, yes. Sorry, I was going down my list and I forgot to write you. I am sorry. What would you like to get?
Like make some macarons, and I'd like to mention, I'd like to reiterate, I do have ye old French book of cook, so I probably know what I'm looking for. How to find it might get tricky, but
Okay. Actually, macarons. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I'll have you go ahead for me. Roll a perception or investigation check. Um, the making of it's going to be easy because you have the book, but you still got to see if you can find what you need.
that is a 17 on perception.
17. That's pretty good. And in fact, I'll say some of what you need is probably already there. Wick baking the cake, some of the same ingredients cross over there. So you do have some of the same things in stock there. I'm actually just looking at a recipe to see if there's anything like weird because I've never made macarons.
Don't they have to like sit for a while?
Uh, a couple hours
Setting?
usually. Usually it's like
Yeah.
because this recipe that I found, it's normally like 2 hours 50 minutes. That's how I've been timing your guys' stuff when you say you want to make it. Is I'm like, all right, how long would that normally take me to make that?
Yeah.
Is that
I was
I mean,
just under the impression that macarons chilled overnight.
I don't think you have to. You
You
can,
don't
but you don't
have to,
have
but
to.
you can.
Yeah, this one here just says like in total takes about 3 hours, which honestly you have the time, because some of the other people their stuff took hour and a half to 2 hours, and I'm going with the idea because this is happening about morning to midday is when all this is happening. So you guys, I'm going with the idea you'll be doing the food later in the day. But I mean, you tell me. You can do it whenever. This is all paced by you guys. People are leaving the city, but there's always going to be a way out for you guys because you have ins with people. So it is up to you. You definitely can. Do you want to make macarons? Because you can find what you need.
yes?
Yes, you have plot armor. That is correct. That is correct, Connor. um, so yeah, you are able to get what you get what you need. You all are. If you are making something, and again, it takes a few hours for some of you, hour and a half for some of you, but you all eventually have what you need, make what you want, and are able to sit down for me.
Am I able to find the thing I was looking for? Or
Ye-
am I
yes.
penalized for standing up?
No. Yes, I was going to get to you. I was going to say before that, before you do sit down, though, Zernus, you would wanted to go find fabric. Go ahead, again, perception or investigation check. And this may impact one thing, because what you're looking for is less of a food item. It isn't a food item. I mean, I guess you could eat it. You could try. Do you want to look down here in the underground, in the cogs, or do you want to head up to the surface?
Oh.
To surface? Okay. Go ahead, perception or investigation.
Oh. 23.
23. Okay. High rolls on all this. I was hoping one of you would roll low. Darn. With a 23, you head up to the surface and you see a lot of what the others had seen. Mainly what Galliard had seen, the mass exodus of automatons and things. You start to walk and you find somebody who is basically kind of frantically. It's a older woman. I say older, middle-aged woman, we'll say. Looks human, maybe late 50s, and she is just trying to give away her wares at this point, just because she doesn't want to carry these. She has crates upon crates of fabrics of various types. There's silks, there's just basic linens, there's what looks like furs and things like that, what you're looking for as well. and she's just trying to give them away. She basically has a sign like, pay what you think is fair, all of it must go. And you see a lot of that as you're going through the streets. But hers, she's just basically like holding stuff out to people, like, just take it. And when you approach, she's like, just take it, please. I can't carry all this.
I'm just looking for fur, like what's in my jacket.
Okay. I'll say looking, you see one right on the left. It's a decent sized piece. You could probably do a whole outfit with it if you really wanted to. It's kind of rolled up and it's just leaned on a crate. And I mean, it's right there. You see, she kind of sees you looking at it and is just like, oh, take it, and hands it over. So you now have it.
Yes, I feel bad for Lady, so I'm gonna drop her 25 gold pieces and leave.
Okay. She's like, oh, thank you so much. That'll help. And like immediately pockets it before somebody can like snatch it. Because that's, I'll say, on the way back, especially with that roll you made. On the way back after getting that, you know, you got it kind of held there. A lot of people are giving things away, but there are some people that aren't. There are some people that are still trying to make a profit, and are just like, this is what it costs. You have to pay this. I'll only be open for this much longer. You hear that as you pass. And there are a few people that are kind of just looting, basically. There are lots of looters. Would you like to? Would you like to intervene? Because
I would like to use my new acquired roll of fabric to just wipe people out that are looting.
Okay, go ahead and make me just, and this will be just a general thing. It'll be like an improvised attack. So d20 plus your strength. You're not proficient in roll of fabric, so don't add your proficiency to that to hit. Just a strength check.
I can't believe I'm not proficient in that.
I know.
17 plus 4, what's that?
Okay.
21.
21. You're just walking through the streets and you see someone like grabbing something and running with it, and you just wham, roll of fabric to like the chest. They just like knock the wind out of them. They fall down, drop what they were holding, and just run off. And you just kind of do that through the streets for a little while. One person you hit in the chest, the other person take out the legs from under them. You know, and it's
My new favorite weapon.
yeah, roll the fabric. And like honestly, you're strong enough. You're basically doing it without breaking stride. You're just walking, wipe, and just keep walking.
Playing baseball.
Kinda. Yeah, like, but here's something that you notice. You knock one person out, they drop their stuff, somebody else comes along and picks it up and runs. People are trip. Yeah. And I'll say you can stop a few, but it's like no matter how many you stop, there is always more. You would have to stand there and guard every single stall, and there are too many for you to do that alone.
I just want to help.
Yeah, but you are, and you are stopping some of the people who would cause trouble from causing trouble, at least to the people you're by. But it's never ending. You're noticing so many people that are just opportunistic and just coming along and just taking what they want in this
That's
tragedy.
Word I can add to my document.
Yeah. But you do eventually make it. You have your fabric. Do you head back to the workshop, or do you want to make another stop while you're out?
Yeah. Should I do that?
Yes, whatever it is. Yes.
Do it.
I don't. Is there baby supplies anywhere?
Okay. I'll need another perception or investigation roll. You are up on the surface still, so maybe
15.
15. I'm gonna say with a 15, you looking around, you don't see anything, but you're getting back near the entrance to where the workshop would be. and you do see one person with a stall. You see them kind of looking around. Nobody is coming over there for anything. And you see them just walking away from their stuff. You can tell they were the person running the stand because they were kind of standing there looking around, clipboard in hand, with just kind of like with the posture of like a person at a market selling things. You just, as you're approaching, you're maybe 30 feet away, they just set the clipboard down and they just start walking away toward the exit of the city. They're just abandoning their stuff.
Okay. What was it?
It is you see a couple cribs, you see bottles, you see basically like diapers, different supplies for infants, for the care of infants.
I don't know if it's me or Zerdas, but this doesn't feel real. He just stands there staring at it.
Yeah. It's like it's just a treasure trove just sat right there in front of you. This person just like nobody was coming and buying anything, and so they're just getting to safety. They're just walking away.
I don't know if there's like any point in me going to grab some stuff.
It's up to
I
you.
don't think so.
What do you think?
Is there like an outfit? Like a onesie or something?
Yeah, I'll say there's like a couple. There's like a blue one with the 2 moons on the chest. And then there is one, I'll say it's like just like kind of a light gray with no imagery on it or anything.
I'd take both of them, I guess.
Okay. And you grab them both and you have them. Baby outfits.
Bag of holding. No one will know I had those.
There you go. Good place to store everything. Okay, cool. Anything else you'd like to look for?
No, I just want to go and do the thing I wanted to do.
Okay. That is doable. In that case, let me check a thing here. Go ahead and sorry, I need to look at a thing because I'm an idiot. So if you're doing that now, go ahead and make me a general dexterity check. If you have like proficiency in any kind of tools and you have the tools that might aid in that, then you can add proficiency, but it depends on if you do and what you're using.
I don't, but I feel like he's good at using at least sewing needles because his previous outfit was too small for him.
True. Here's what I'll say. We'll see how good you are in this stressful situation. Just roll me a flat dexterity check.
18.
18. With deft fingers and practiced precision, you are able to sew that into... you said you wanted to sew it into the cape? Okay. Yeah. So you sew the fabric in, and perfect. You now are the proud owner of Fluff. Hell yeah. Which is going to be helpful, because where you're going is cold in comparison.
Yes, that's why I'm preparing. I'm going home. It's cold there.
Yeah, home is a little bit colder than here by a good amount, so it's a good idea. Just a little bit. So it is a good idea. Okay. Anyone else have anything else they'd like to do before the main event?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Now that I've been flying around looking, would I have seen Zernus by chance just like randomly walking through the street, like whacking people?
Interesting question. Go ahead and just roll me like a perception check.
Uh, 25.
With a 25, you're flying around and you're eventually kind of like heading sort of back in the direction of the workshop, just that general area, flying around there. And you look down and you almost hear thunk. You hear like a solid thunk, and you hear someone go, ow, and then just skitter, and you watch someone get up and run off. And then you just see Zernus walking through the street. You see people looting, and you can kind of see, someone picking things up and starting to run. And then you just see wham right in the chest, and you see Zernus.
Cool. Typical Zernus. I fly away.
Okay.
Uh, uh, upper city.
Mhm.
What? I just want to fly around the upper city. Like the forget what it's called.
The upper city, it would be where like all the rich people live, where you guys had been
Yeah,
for the most part. You just want to fly around that
and
area.
just see what's happening there. Like, are there looters there? What?
Um, it's interesting because when you guys had been up there previously, which was quite a bit, most of the time you've been in the city was there. There is the large mages college, or at least a good section of it. Some of it is in the middle city. But the most of it is up there. Most of the rich folk, all the rich folk. It floats above the city. It is disconnected from everything else. It is a floating section of the city, floats there magically and technologically. It is entirely empty. You go up there and start flying around expecting to see at least one person running around, looting or something. It is a ghost town. All of the illusionary enchantments, like for example, the Scarlet Dragon, the one inn that you guys had stayed at, there was an illusory red dragon that would fly out of the front of the building, out of the sign on the front, and would like crawl around on the front of the street before retreating in. That's still going. A lot of there are almost these illusory models in front of some of the clothing shops showing what the outfits look like. That is empty as well. The illusions are still there, and some of the automaton things, aspects of it as well, are still there. But there are no people that you see. You don't even see, like looking into some of the buildings, no movement. It is entirely empty. The upper city has been fully evacuated, as far as you can tell. I'll amend that slightly. You do see a little bit of movement in a couple of the buildings. Some of the more rich folk, but most of them are empty.
Are in the buildings that I do see some movement? Is that like? Does it look like normal, your erratic movement, like trying to leave, or is it like people trying to stay? What does it look like?
At a glance with that perception check, I will say it does not look erratic. It looks like people just walking around their homes. So take that as you will.
Can I approach?
You can. I'll say I don't believe you've ever been to this house before, but I will say you approach a very nice looking manor. It is gated, but you're flying, so you can just fly over it. It's fine. And just kind of flying over the gate, landing in. The door is open. It doesn't look broken open. It looks like it was left open.
Can I like peek my head in? See, like, hello?
Immediately looking in, it is a very, very nice house. It's a bit dark, a bit dim, but wood paneling on the walls. It is a beautiful house, both inside and out. Very sort of Gothic Victorian, I guess you could say, in terms of its architecture. And you say that, and you hear footsteps, soft, purposeful footsteps in your direction, and you see a man peeking around the corner. Older than you for sure. And he stands with an air of purpose and confidence, wearing robes. And you do, I will say, see a symbol on the robes. These are just sort of lounge robes. That matches one that Galliard had on a signet ring. And he just looks to you. Yes, what can I do for you?
So apparently, bomb threat. Y'all are just gonna stay here?
I'm going to stay here, yes. I have a duty. But you should get out. Get safe. as well as anyone you care for.
We'll be leaving soon, I think. I'm not sure, honestly. What, may I ask, what is your duty?
To protect the spire of the city. I am Elric Trelai.
Oh, okay. That looked familiar, and I point to the like symbol he has.
Yes, yes, I am quite known around this city.
Huh. Wait, just for my own, like for Maldet's personal memory, because I'm horrible with that.
That's fair.
IRL. This is Galliard's father, correct?
Yes, but I could be wrong, and that's why I said I don't think. I'm pretty sure Maldet has never met him before, but he has heard about him.
Not at. I haven't personally met him, but I've seen him at a distance at the convention.
Correct, I believe. Yes. So yes, this is, as far as you know, this is Galliard's father.
I don't think if the threat is real, I don't think Galliard would be happy that you died here, of all places.
We
I don't know.
have
I'm just.
we have spoken, and he is less than pleased, but I believe he understands. We have spoken recently,
Fair.
I believe last night.
That's fair. Wait, so why the spire? If I don't know much about this place, if you can't tell.
Yes.
What's so important about the spire?
Do you use magic, divine or otherwise?
Yes.
Okay. Do you enjoy your magic? Do you think it is useful?
It has its uses, I will say.
Of course, of course. It can do anything from lighting a candle to snuffing a person from existence.
In an instant, yes.
Exactly. Without the spire, things would become erratic, either ceasing to exist entirely or becoming unpredictable. It's never happened before, so we're not entirely sure what the effects would be, but that's the running theory.
Well, if the threat is real, I believe that's the main target. But based off of what you're telling me,
Probably, yes. And that's why people
Where
like
is
me
the-
must stay.
where is the spire located?
Well, and he walks to a window and invites you over to just kind of glance out. And he points to the massive, and I'll kind of describe it real quick, the city. The city is spread out over a large distance, built upwards, built outwards, but in the direct center is a massive tower. A just huge, massive tower that extends past the cloud line, as far as you can see up. And he points to that thing. That's the spire.
And you're protecting it from over here?
We have wards in place that we must keep together. I believe with those wards in place, we should at least be able to protect it from complete destruction. It will be structurally weak, but magically strong. And that's what matters. The structural damage can be fixed.
I don't know. I don't think it'll work.
Well, it definitely won't if we aren't here.
No, I mean like in general, like even with y'all here, it won't work.
Maybe not. But someone has to try.
Yeah, but you got a kid. You got a wife.
So do many of the men and women that die in wars. But they still do their
Yeah.
duty to their country, to their kinsmen.
I get that. Get that.
It does. It hurts me deeply that I must stay. I would love, more than anything, to go with them. But if I leave, well, then there definitely isn't a chance. Maybe
And
it won't work at all.
You can't give this job to anybody else. That's at your ability.
In this region, there is no one else of my ability. Everyone else has left.
Well,
Yes, it's quite a pickle I'm in, but they're gone. Just tell Galliard I'll see him soon.
yeah, but if you don't, then I'll feel bad. And he might like get mad at me or something for lying if something does happen.
Well, just tell him that it's from me. That way he can be mad at me. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. I've been mad before at my parents.
Yeah. I
What if I
appreciate
just go dispel all the wards? Then there's nothing like you can do, right?
Even if you could do that, which I highly doubt, it wouldn't really. That would be a bad thing for everybody. I promise you.
Okay, you said total destruction. Is that the region? Is that like the continent? Are we talking like 20 square miles? Or what are we talking about here?
Are you asking him this?
Yeah.
What are you referring to? The total destruction of the spire, I mean, would be bad.
Yeah.
But the spire won't
Yeah.
destroy anything around it.
Okay.
It's not like a
Yes,
burst that would go outwards. It's the destruction of the spire itself would be the bad thing. It wouldn't necessarily harm, well, I guess anyone underneath it where any rubble would fall would be hurt, but that's about it.
And you're saying it can cause magic and other things to go erratic.
Yes, there's a school of study on. It's usually for certain sorcerers, known as wild magic. I don't know how familiar you are. It would essentially cause most magic to act like that, where random effects would potentially happen at the cast of even a simple spell. Or the other school of thought, if the spire disappears, is that magic erases entirely. We don't really know. There was no magic before the spire, and so logically there'd be no magic after the spire. But there's also a chance the latent magic in the world sticks around and just becomes erratic. We don't know. But regardless,
Magic is an interesting thing.
it is, yes. That's why I've been so interested in it for my whole life and for other reasons. But regardless, I believe you all should get out, please. No matter what happens to me, I don't want Galliard or any of you to be harmed.
Yeah, they're just celebrating whose birthday? Zernus's birthday.
Ah. Well, a little bit of celebration is never a bad thing before catastrophe.
And then we'll go. Yeah.
Enjoy the day.
Yeah. I wish you the best, I guess. You know if any of the other houses would have like some sort of teleportation room or something by chance?
Well,
or your place? Just for ease of leaving the place.
We do, and many of the houses do. However, they were commandeered at the beginning of the evacuation by the council. However, about an hour into using the teleportation rooms to get some of the higher ups out, they stopped working. And we don't know why. All of the runes are intact, everything is in place as it should be, and teleportation magic doesn't work right now for some reason. And we don't really have the time to figure it out. The best and safest way out of the city is by ground, by more traditional means. Magic seems to be, at least that type of magic is blocked. There is the spire. It acts as a conduit for magic, but also an amplifier. It's why you get a little bit more magical power within the city. Somebody is using it. I'm assuming the one who threatened the city is using it to block teleportation.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
However, the airships were able to make it out and get the remaining people from here and the middle city, most of them out, and then the trains and other ground methods are being used for the remaining.
Yeah, I saw those.
From what we know, the explosion is going to be large. It may damage the majority of the city, and most of it will be unsalvageable, but there may be some safe areas. But it's best to get out regardless. This is all theory.
Oh, it's all theory until it happens, you know?
Of course. Now, is there anything else you need from me?
No, I'll leave you to it. I just saw you walking around. Wanted to make sure you weren't just like
A looter.
You know. Besides that.
Of course, and I appreciate your concern. Now, go try to enjoy a little bit of... Oh, go ahead.
I'm not saying I'm going to do it. But if people just leave things there, just abandoned post, and it's going to be all destroyed, gone forever, is it bad to take things?
If it's already abandoned...
The benefit of one?
Yeah. If it's already abandoned, that's not a bad thing. It's already abandoned, it's going to be destroyed, but if it's something somebody else already still selling or trying to sell or keep, that's bad. That would be naturally pretty bad.
Yeah, that part I totally agree with.
But feel free if it's abandoned.
Cool. Got the approval of somebody, up there. That's all I need.
Of course, of course.
I mean, you technically are the highest, position right now, essentially.
As far as I know.
Okay. Bye. And I just turn around like nothing happened and just walk out.
Okay. And just go. Since you have the approval to loot from people who are not currently still owning their things, is there anything you want to look for?
Armories.
Armories. Roll me a perception check.
Jesus.
I heard it start with 20 and I was like, all right. You are able
21.
You are able to find a number of different weapons shops and things that sell stuff. I will say that most of the magical items and things have been packed up and taken. The closest thing you find are like a +1 of various different types of weapons. Counted as magical, +1. As well as about the same for armors. excuse me, you do find some more like mundane magical items, such as like a sword that constantly bleeds, or armor that is clean no matter what you do to it. Stuff that really wouldn't be enough value to take compared to other things. That's the kind of stuff you find.
The armor that's constantly clean.
Yes.
What type of armor is that?
What type of armor you wear?
Well, I have serpent scale armor, so it goes up anytime my dex goes up.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's
I'm
the
not
good
worried
one.
about that.
That's a good one. I'm gonna say it is a plate armor. It is stylized after armors from the north. So they have a little bit more fur lining and whatnot. But it is pristinely clean. And it's funny, the sword that bleeds is like right above it, and so it's bleeding down onto the armor. You don't know if that was an intentional choice, but like as the blood hits it, it just vanishes. Like it was never there. The
You said
armor
it's
is clean.
plate.
It is plate.
Does Zernus wear plate, or what does Zernus wear?
As far as you know, yeah, Zernus wears plate.
I'm gonna yoink that and throw it in the bag of holding.
Okay. Yoink, you have
Would
glistening.
anybody like a sword that always bleeds?
I don't know. Now that is what it looks at a glance. You would have to do something to find out more about it, if it does anything else. But as far as the placard says, and as far as you can see it, just looking at it, it is just a sword that the very tip of it looks as if you stabbed somebody like a couple inches in, and it's just still bleeding.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'll just get all like. Honestly, I'm just gonna sell it, so I'm just gonna like get a lot of the armor and the weapons, just throw it in there,
Okay. I will
and then
say
just sell it or scrap it for material.
that's fair. Just put down somewhere that you have assorted weapons and armors.
Yeah.
From Kingsport, and then we will go into what all you got then.
Yeah.
You're able to get a good amount of material. Okay, there you go. Anything else?
And that's all.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything they would like to do? I do not hear any takers. So, I will say at this point, some time passes and you all eventually... Do you guys have any opinion of when you gather for this, for the meal, for the gift exchange, all that? If not, I'll
5
say it's in
minutes
the
before
evening.
the bomb goes off.
Okay, so you guess about when you think the bomb is going to go off. You guess wrong. It explodes, you all die.
Probably early afternoon, I'd say.
Early afternoon. Okay. And Zernus, you did make a good point. You were told, or at least the warning was it saying that there was going to be a week until the bomb goes off. Here's the thing, though. People are starting to evacuate, and fast. You're also dealing with a master manipulator and liar.
I mean, duh.
You don't know how much time you have.
I'm calling bluff, but I'm going to die if I do that. So
yeah. So you all gather, and sorry, Drawson, was it you? What time did you say that you recommended? And everyone agreed.
Early afternoon.
Early afternoon. Okay, that is reasonable because most of the stuff that happened was in the morning. So
My vision's blurry.
yeah. Oh no. It's early afternoon. Works fine, and you all slowly gather one by one. Galliard, I'll say you're kind of there monitoring the soup for a while, but it is like done to perfection about the time you're gathering for food, as it should be. And so you get it all together, all of your foods, desserts, main dishes, side dishes, all of this you get together and bring down to the workshop and set up on a table. And you have a meal. Is there any conversations you'd like to have during the meal? This is before any, going with the idea no gifts have been exchanged yet. So if you want to do that now, you can, whatever you'd like to do. It's on you.
All right, we're eating food.
Yep, you are all at the table.
The rat immediately there.
Food time.
Chowing
Yeah.
down. Nom nom nom. But I have
Yeah,
a
I'm just
Just
waiting.
apparates from thin air.
No.
I've got a question for you. Do you think it would count as combat if I tried to use Mage Hand to shove Zernus's face into one of the cakes?
Ooh.
Okay. Okay. No, but here's what I will say. Give me a sec. I need to check a thing.
Oh no.
Oh la la.
Zernus, what is your passive perception?
Blind.
Not counting the
Hang on,
helmet,
I'm not wearing
because
Not counting the
Not in
Yeah.
the helmet.
because you're eating, so you wouldn't be wearing it.
You were blinded. I'm blinded by the light.
I was. It just flashbanged me. 14.
14. Okay. Radioactive purple rat baby. Are you trying to do this without being noticed? Like, are you trying to like get it behind him and then shove it down?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check. Or sleight of hand. I'll allow either.
I love you, son. Let it know I love you, son.
Oh,
Ooh, all can see this.
Okay, wait for that.
we're about to find out.
Wait a minute. That is a that is a poser 20.
God.
So none. I don't think. Does anyone have a passive that high? I don't think so.
No.
Now that, maybe?
No. You're sorry. Chill.
Okay.
Chill. That means I'm angry.
The only thing I think might have it is Maldet, but
I think it's like I don't have your passives in front of me. I have them somewhere. I believe Maldet's it's high, but it's like a 15 or 16. I thought. So I don't think it's high enough.
My what?
Your passive perception. What is it?
18.
Still not high enough. Okay.
nope. Fuck.
So, radioactive purple rat baby, you go through because there are verbal and somatic components to this, kind of between bites of food. Mouthing the words, doing the hand motions. The mage hand appears behind, and Zernus. So
Help me.
a mage hand can only do so many pounds of stuff, right? For the push dragon lift.
Mm-hmm.
So what you feel is a hand on the back of your head, and before you can react, it's almost comically slow, but not slow enough that you can really react because you're in front of it. Wham! Right down.
Oh.
I leave my head on the desk. I don't get back up. I just
I
lay
like some of the I'd like to lean over and lick some of the frosting that's on the face. Just like pick it up with my
Okay.
finger and just.
Just,
Oh,
no.
you don't lick my face. You just
No. Yeah, I just swab a cum and just lick it with my finger.
Go back to eating soup.
I can't see. I've got frosting in my eyes.
I mean, it's good cake. I'm not gonna lie.
It's good cake. It's pretty good cake.
Oh, it's a good cake. I just wish it wasn't on my face.
You look beautiful. Makes you look 10 times.
I will throw cake at Wick.
You.
Like, I will aim at her face.
I mean, okay. So you throw Zernus, make me a dex check.
Ooh.
18.
Goodbye.
18.
Do I contest this?
No, because it would be to meet your AC. So is your AC 18 or higher?
No, I don't believe it is.
Okay. And so you get what did you throw Zernus cake?
It was like sat back up, looked at her as soon as she said something, and just flung my arm and aimed at her face.
And
She
you
was
hit
like, yeah, the cake.
and you get cake in your face.
All you see is just it slowly slides off, but then like you just see her lick her face. She's like,
Scooby Doo ass.
so good.
Okay.
And enjoyable. Who doesn't like a little bit of cake? I mean, I don't sometimes, but cake is good. I love it.
Cake is good.
Cake is good.
I love cake.
We're
Cake.
good.
I don't like cake that has an imprint of my face in it.
And
I
it
mean,
does.
Oh.
It's still probably good.
Oh, my head! No!
Ooh. What cake was it
I
anyway? Was it
get-
the birthday cake? I hope it wasn't, because that would be kind of sad. Or
It
was
could-
not.
I mean, there's the
It
birthday
was
cake, but
probably
there's
the
also the
one
one
that
you
I
made.
got.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it depends
I
on
guess.
whichever one.
I mean, I'm still gonna take a slice
It
of cake. I
depends
don't
on
care.
whichever Zernus would be eating first, but
Which one got put in front of him first? 'Cause he didn't say
True.
anything. He just sat down after sewing. He's got like some plasters on his fingers. Sat down and then straight into the fucking table.
I assume probably the one with writing from the shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't fuck up a
mean-
Wix cake just to beat your ass.
I love that. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So Zernus, your nice birthday cake with the nice message written on it slowly gets closer, and then
Oh.
It's I'll just clean my face off. That's what I'm gonna spend. Don't even get to eat. It's just like trying to get cake out of my fucking hair.
Out of kindness, give him a cloth. Here you go, buddy.
I'll shovel
Oh, you
food into your
come back.
face.
I'm proud of
you're
my
force
son.
fed.
He doesn't know what's there, and I'll be honest, he doesn't have much of an appetite. Which is weird, because it's Ernest.
But
He
it's
has an
your
appetite
birthday.
almost rivaling the rat.
Truly a match
Whoa,
made in
now
heaven.
those are fighting words.
And I mean it.
I mean, okay.
Okay.
I mean, who wants another slice of that cake, though? I mean, that looks pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Devouring.
The rat slides across the table, inhales everything.
Joskin, you want one too? I'll get you a slice, Joskin.
Yeah.
Here you go, buddy.
Preferably one that doesn't have my face in it.
I mean, you have a pretty big face.
I'm going to get up. Josh, come here. I'm
Ah.
going to get up and walk into the back room with any and all machines that Wick has.
Oh.
Oh,
You better not.
No, this isn't
I
you.
want to break them.
No, you better not. You may be the birthday boy,
Timber,
but I'm not giving you
timber.
special privileges.
I don't expect you to. That's Sarai's job.
Jeez.
So Zernus, do you start breaking things?
I mean, Zernus as a child would only ever like poke something that his father made and it would fall apart. Do I have to like shatter something for it to break, or do I just have this touch that just instantly dismantles something?
Is he
So,
just Midas? No, seriously.
so here's what I will say.
That was that one character.
Yeah.
From Good Omens.
As a child, you just happen to have this knack for touching the wrong places. And it would fall apart. Yeah, it would just, the mechanical things would just fall apart at a simple touch. But I would need, because these are well made. A lot of the stuff that your father was making were that you broke were generally like prototypes. They weren't meant to be like sturdy. They kind of just fell apart. If you want to break something, you would have to make a roll, but you have to tell me what you do to break it.
Is there a what is there, Wick, in your back room?
Machinery, general functions, and electricity for the whole ass shop. You know, things my uncle would have made, and I kept tidy up.
Yeah. Sentimental body.
So the birthday boy's gonna get birthday dead on the floor.
Can I cast disintegrate? No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
Machinery.
Is there
Understood.
something like I can pick up with just my hand? Like small enough?
Is
I mean,
there?
there's like old levers, but those don't really work anymore. I will say they're just old on the floor, lifeless, motionless.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do something else. I'm gonna pick up your tools or any remaining tools, like a wrench or a spanner, the thing you put in hex thing, and I'm just gonna loosen the bolts on literally everything. Not enough that it falls apart, but enough that you notice that everything is loose. I will be an inconvenience to best.
Okay.
You better be an inconvenience at best. If you destroy my shit, you're gonna be dead on
I'm
the
not
floor.
destroying your stuff. I'm simply loosening it.
I hope that doesn't combust in my very home.
Man, everybody's pushy, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
you
Oh,
are.
you're
I
gonna
just got
eat
up to
some
go to the.
food
I said I was
for
gonna go to the
leaving.
bathroom.
sure, I am enjoying my meal. I'm just being
Yeah.
very.
It was a good ass meal.
I went up and
It was. I'm loving cake.
food is
Yums.
food. Cake, soup, noodles. I don't know what else everyone brought. You're all eating. All I did was get up and walk into a back room. You don't know what I'm doing.
So ominous.
Zernus, I want you to make me an intelligence check.
Oh God, no. This is my weakness. Why would you do that?
Good.
Blue brain.
11.
11. So you are intending to go through and loosen everything just enough where it's noticeable, but not break anything.
Yes.
You don't really break anything, but you loosen a certain bolt. You hear something go, ting, and then all the lights in the workshop shut off.
Damn it, Vernus.
I cast daylight.
Dark vision.
Okay, you cast daylight, Melda. So you cast daylight, and there is suddenly daylight in the workshop.
Thank you.
But all of the other lights are off.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now give me a second while I go handle.
How do I
Mr.
hide?
Paladin.
I don't want to be
I'll-
accountable for my actions.
I'll
All you
go
just hear is
grab
Wick's
Zernus.
heavy boots, like walking towards the back room.
I guess I can
I grab
light
Zernus.
on whatever utensil I'm eating with at the time.
Fork.
That works, Strawson, and so as you cast light on it, it's glowing, and as you're eating, it glows inside your mouth.
Nice.
Just but those of you wanting to go towards Zernus,
Holy words for you know.
Zernus, I need you to make me a
Die.
stealth check.
Better.
Okay, where are you
Better.
going?
Better boy.
Yep. Wait, I don't have my armor on.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
No, I took it off a while ago because it's warm here. Stealth, right?
Yeah.
It's 16.
Okay. So it was Maldette and Wick going in there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You be quiet.
So, cool. Wick and Maldette make me a perception check as you enter the room.
Of course. That's a 17.
Hiding against a wall.
Okay.
That's a
That's
17.
dirty
I'm
20.
watching you.
A dirty 20.
Thank you, Valdez.
Hello.
There is daylight, and there is Zernus in the just basically like. Okay, let me describe the scene. You walk in, and there's like a thin, maybe like 1.5 foot wide, like pole that like a tube that goes up to the ceiling, and you just see two shoulders, like really broad shoulders, sticking out of the sides of it, trying to hide behind the pole.
You don't see me.
You're not John Cena, buddy.
You don't see me.
You're not John
Wait,
Cena.
who's John Cena? Anyway.
We can't break character here. That's not allowed.
A famous gladiator.
You don't see me. You don't see me.
Zernus, come here. We'll entertain you with something else.
Yeah,
Wick, fix this, please.
I'll fix it. Let me grab my wrench.
He doesn't want to move. These are the two people he doesn't want to believe when they say that. My help, someone.
No
There's
one's helping
a
me.
present. There's a present for you out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's next to radioactive purple rat baby.
Oh no, I would help if I could.
Shut
But
up. Kingsley, shut
Love
up.
it. You are not surviving this war, Xernas.
How do I move around Wick specifically.
Why do you wish to?
I will be a barrier between Wake and Zernus.
Thank you so much, Valdette.
I'm gonna like slide behind Malbet, and as soon as I'm at the door, just run back into the room. Like, nope.
Wick's gonna throw the wrench at his head. Can I do it?
Make me a dex check. Roll the hit.
That is a 15.
I don't have my armor on, you cunt.
I
No.
know.
So your
I was
AC is
It's
10 plus your
14.
dex, so it'd be 14. So yeah, you get a wrench to the back of the head. I'll say you take 1 bludgeoning damage.
My head snaps forward, pings off, hits the table.
Yeah.
As it should. But the lights are back on. I did fix it.
Well, go ahead. Make me an intelligence check with advantage, Wick, and add your proficiency bonus.
Ow.
That is the wrong one. Shit. Okay, there you go. That is a 21.
Yeah,
For my intelligence.
like the lights of the sun, they come on and it's beautiful and everything is back as it should. You have to like bend a pipe back into place that came loose and like kind of bent a little bit.
That's fine. I'm strong enough to do so.
Yeah, and it's the strength, and it's also just you have the tools to kind of like leverage it, put it in place, screw it in real quick.
Exactly.
You're fine.
We're good. But if Xernas comes into this back room again, he's not surviving.
Well, you don't know if I will, because try again.
I will hit you with this wrench again. Eat your food.
Stop hitting on me.
Stop trying to break my stuff.
Stop insulting my feelings.
This is your birthday. Enjoy it.
Well, stop hurting my feelings.
I'm gonna sit down.
Anyway.
And enjoy it.
Everybody have their food? Everybody got presents? Anybody got presents? You doing this or what?
I may or may not have acquired something for you, Zernus, and it may or may not have come in handy just back then.
Can I go back to the back room? I don't
No, you are not going anywhere.
No, you can't get out of this.
I don't need presents. I'm fine, really.
No, you do. Too bad. It's your birthday.
Just,
It's your special day. We gotta specially celebrate.
it's just a birthday. I have like 700 more.
It's exactly.
Well,
Live to tell a tale of this
that's
one if you
funny.
don't die later. Come on.
encouraging words. Very encouraging.
How old are you?
27. I'm 27 years old.
Well,
I have 27 years.
How do you understand the rat?
Oh. My dumbass. I'm so sorry.
Guys, like,
Morse code that
Zerus
please.
will look at you after I've seen this. 150. No, wait. 157 plus 9 because of the time skip.
What?
Oh, you're just a baby.
You're so old.
How do I, like, you know when you put your hand in a cat and squish it? That's what I want to do with the rat.
Bite.
Okay.
What kind of squishing are we talking?
It's like, where's my cat? I can demonstrate. Where'd you
Oh,
go?
no.
It better not be.
Hey, quick question. Zernus' things are off. I get his bag of holding.
Ooh.
Can I grab it from him?
Cat.
Oh god, sleight of hand.
Yeah, that. You're gonna dick.
Hopefully. Yeah, I should be fine.
Okay.
18.
Yeah, you're fine. Nobody would notice but you.
I just see myself taking it. Like, oh, nice.
Literally.
What's he taking? I took my headphones off for 1 second.
You don't need to know because you wouldn't know.
Fair enough.
Oh
It's a
my
nice
god.
day in the...
Okay.
Who's giving
Cool,
you
I have that now.
Anything?
True.
Or are our presents just out in the wild?
I don't know. Up to you guys.
Oh no, my present's still away.
We're gonna use
I run-
cards.
It's
I run-
in like long grass.
No one told me we were getting presents.
Yeah.
Don't worry
I
about
could
it.
It's
Don't
your
worry about it.
birthday.
I can look
Hey,
something up in the back
okay.
room.
Your
I'll do
presence,
that.
your presence here is present enough.
That's so cheesy.
Yeah, you're the one I trust the most, at least, at the table.
What? Wow.
I'm gonna go at least get more drinks for everybody.
Let's see where your loyalties lie.
No one can hear you, shush.
I know what you want.
You can la 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 la.
Wait, you have
Josh,
to bring a
look in
mind
my chat.
shielding, don't you? Can't
Okay,
you switch
I'm
where
looking.
you let the purple red baby off?
That's what I'm doing.
I'm looking.
So sad.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Then you can do
it's
that.
nothing. It's nothing bad. That's what I wanted to do with it.
Shows the rat the mind shielding
works.
ring. Switches the rat off.
That
Aw.
snap was audible. Never gonna give you up. Happy birthday, Zernas, and you'll never be so loud. Desert you.
What is that song?
I don't know if
I'm
anyone,
sorry.
one of you knows. One of you knows the song. You've never forgotten it, and you thought you'd never hear it again. You thought you
Years
escaped.
later gets freaking rickrolled.
Can you imagine?
That'd
I
be
got everyone
great.
drinks.
Mimosas.
party.
Is it the strong one?
Exactly, mimosas.
I abstain from drink.
It's not. I mean,
Give me alcohol.
While we're
I'm
drinking
great
fucking-
I
with
don't
it.
trust you with alcohol.
Give me alcohol. I'm fine.
Look.
No.
Anytime
got
that
a
we've
thimble?
tried to prevent Zernus from drinking, it hasn't worked. So why not just bite the bullet and just let him have fun? It's his
Okay,
birthday.
you know what?
He gets
Here you
some
go, Zernus.
shenanigans in Nuketown. It's fine.
No,
But
if
we're
I die
leaving
today and
after
I'm hearing
this.
that as my death word, I'm
I'll
going
be
out.
fine. I
He's
can
not driving.
Are you really
I
be
can
fine?
drive.
Wait.
I can drive. I don't know how
No,
to
we're-
drive, but I can do that.
What's
I
driving?
can drive. Shut
What's
up.
driving? What is this formation of words?
Land vehicles. I can do those.
Driving? That's
I
on a
think
chair.
someone else is going to drive us. We're still we're still leaving.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for my
Right?
present, I'm just gonna throw Zernus's bag, his bag of holding.
Aw.
What?
Oh,
Oh! What the? Wait.
Look in it.
there's a pipe
That
bomb.
sounds so.
Well, I don't know if we're on that level of friendship yet.
good.
Look at your bag.
Fine. What's in the bag?
So, the thing about a bag. So, okay. You look in the bag, and there are all of your things. And okay, bag of holding, right? When you look into it, you can't really necessarily see what's in it. However,
I don't know.
for
Put
the
my
sake
hand
of
in it.
for the sake of this, you see like a glint of something really shiny, just sticking out a little bit.
How dare you trigger my autism? His autism.
Both.
I'll take the shiny.
Okay. And so you grab it and pull it, and it keeps pulling and pulling, and it is a suit of incredibly shiny, with fur lining. You can tell it's kind of like the style is actually more similar to where you grew up, rather than stuff over here. Plate armor.
Okay. I have a suit of armor already. But, thank you.
It's special. I throw a piece of liquor on it. Like I throw a glass of liquor on it.
And it you throw the whole glass. Okay. You throw it and it shatters, and it's like Teflon. Nothing sticks to it. It just runs right off. Not even a drop is left on it. However, what you're wearing, there's a little bit on it. But the armor is clean.
It's gonna prestidigitation over there, just like start sifting it away.
You're gonna put it back in the bag of holding, and he's thinking real hard, you can see.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is an insult or a compliment. Thank you.
Yes.
Do you Okay.
Who's the
Both.
next game? What?
Is it just regular plate armor?
So it is. You would have. You don't really know. If you want to take the time to
Wait,
attune to it, I can tell you.
I'm gonna see if I can cast Identify. Hold on.
You can. If you can cast Identify, that will also tell you what it does.
Hold on. No, I can't.
You cannot. Okay. Then you would have
Hey, do you
to
want the
attune
pearl?
to it.
Oh, I have the pearl. I can identify things.
You
If
can identify?
If you want to do it yourself, you could do that, or else I can help with it if you'd like.
Okay. She
It's up to you.
doesn't know.
I'll find out whatever this is and put my hand on it and just like start. I'll use a spell slot for it since, yeah, cast Identify.
Okay. So immediately within 6
A
seconds,
minute.
you know what it does. Or is it a minute for Identify as
It's a
a
minute.
plane? Oh, okay. So then
It's a minute, yeah.
in the next minute, Galliard, you learn that this is the armor of gleaming. It can never get dirty, is what it does. However, it does have an additional property. While wearing this armor, you get a +2 bonus to Constitution saving throws.
So what do you think about that, then? That seems to be a fairly quality enchantment for what it is.
Yeah, it's cool. I could use it if certain scenarios play out, but I already have armor from Dickman. Oh, God.
Oh, why didn't we never invite Dickman? That'd be funny.
Actually,
Did
I'm gonna go
someone
to the back and
call
be like,
me?
Hey, Dick.
Long time
Yeah,
no
I know.
see.
Look to the corner.
Team Rocket
Wait,
theme starts
huh?
playing.
Out of the corner appears the little 2-foot-tall, older gnomish-looking man. No cart this time. Walks out. He's got like a flask in hand, sipping out of it. Happy birthday.
Mystical grandpa energy for
Oh,
real,
yeah,
for
man.
real.
I'm happy. He's like, wait, yeah, thank you, Dickman.
You're welcome.
Where are the rest of
Oh,
you?
Oh,
and
yeah, they're
your
real
brain?
busy.
oh,
What?
Do you mind informing us on that?
You know, the gods, they're a little busy.
Well, yeah, you're a god, are you not?
Yes. I should be
Well,
there.
Well, what are you missing out on? What you should be doing?
Oh.
Well,
I'm
I'm
so
going
lost.
to
Yeah.
I'm going to mime lighting a bomb and handing it to Dickman.
Oh no.
You do that. He holds the hands out, and then as he pulls the hand away from yours, a bomb materializes. Like you blink, and now there's a bomb there, and the fuse is slowly burning down, and he just looks
Not
at
in
it
my
lovingly.
shop.
Oh,
Can I
it's
put
okay.
my alcohol? Just like pour it on?
You'll pour alcohol on it.
It's
So-
just gonna light it even faster.
Yeah. Hold on.
Liquid fire out, right?
Hold
Before
on.
the nuke gets, I'm gonna cry.
So Zernus, you pour alcohol on it, the whole fuse and bomb soaks, and it goes, and then stops, and there's no fuse left. And he just looks at it lovingly. This is a very nice thing you made here. And just eats it.
I do it. Sometimes it fucking helps. Wait.
And the cheeks, like Looney Tune style.
Wait, okay. Why don't we just get him to eat the nuke? I don't get it.
Is that what we're
Forget how
doing?
much-
Man,
Are we, can you eat a nuke?
Any?
I've
Those
never
solve all our problems.
I've never tried. I could try.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I think the alcohol's getting to me. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
we could tell him where it is, and he could try and inhale it.
But he would also maybe die. in the
Wait, we know
process.
where it is?
Isn't it really large?
That's what she said.
How far can you unhindered, John?
Nice one.
What the fuck? My brain. My brain.
That's a vegetation just to instantly soil Wick's clothes.
I couldn't hold it and it had to be said.
Wick, you now wet your pants.
Time to get some new cargo pants. Be right back.
So, all right, got a question for you. I was gonna show up anyway before I left, but I had a question for all you. So it may be a while before I see any of you again. We're doing big things over there, and you've all been, you've been great, very entertaining.
Dickman.
Don't leave us, Dickman. You're
I
only dad.
just feel like we're about to die.
No,
Yeah.
I have to leave. I'm not gonna kill you, but I gotta leave soon.
I'm
So I want to leave you all with a gift. And he's gonna cough. And he's gonna cough, and then he's going to just from his mouth, and he's gonna pull out a bucket, start spewing out of his mouth, nose, and eye holes, peanut shells.
Oh god.
Not whole peanuts. I want to emphasize that, not whole peanuts.
Just peanut shells.
Peanut shells specifically, which, as you know, is his favorite snack. And then once the bucket is overflowing, a few of them falling onto the ground, he's going to stop. Sorry, that was a lot. It was a big bucket. Why didn't I get a smaller bucket? And then he's going to stick his hand down. He's going to stick his hand down into it. And his hand keeps going and going past the bottom of the bucket, his shoulder, his torso, and he's going to fall into the bucket, which is going to clatter to the ground. And then he's going to... And the bucket's going to fall, clatter to the ground, and then peanut shells spewing across the ground, and he's going to start to climb out of the bucket. One hand, second hand, third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand, dragging his body out of the bucket. Impossibly large. And rather than being Dickman crawling out, you can tell it's Dickman because of the head, but the neck is 5 feet long. The body is elongated. Again, many arms and legs come crawling out. Just this abomination made from Dickman.
Why were we given a centipede, Dickman?
And he's going to crawl out. So, as I was saying, I have a gift, but I had to go retrieve it from back where home is. Don't ask questions. So, it's your birthday, Zernis, and for all of you...
I'm gonna party like it's my birthday.
And in his hands, he's holding various different objects. But as you look at them, they almost shift. In one hand, it's a clock, but then you look away and look again, and it's a model train. And you look away and look again, and it's a small candle. And each hand has a different object that changes and shifts depending on what angle you're looking at, when you look at it. It's all different. And sometimes they'll reappear, like you'll see the model train again, but it's a different color or a different shape, or maybe there's two boilers side by side rather than one. It's all different. The clocks sometimes don't even have numbers, but have images, faces. It's this really strange amalgamation of things. And in one of the hands is going to approach, and the item is almost going to be flickering by faster than the rest, and then rests on a revolver. And it stops. Do any of you use a gun?
I
How
do.
Yeah.
the party does.
Yeah, true.
Wick, me, Galliard now does.
Justin technically uses one. He has
Do
used
you
one.
use a gun,
A
Justin?
little bit. Not usually.
Give Justin the gun.
No, I wouldn't want to take it.
I trust you with the gun. I
Dick-
don't trust the rest of them with the gun.
Dickman is going to look to Wick. Being the more fire... Maldet is as well. But Maldet has an array of firearms already.
Oh yeah.
Is going to look to Wick and is going to hold out the revolver. Use it wisely.
Okay. I shall.
You'll
Is
learn
that
what that does.
Do I put a revolver in my inventory?
I want you to put the chaos containment chamber in your inventory.
Oh.
Oh no!
I'll tell you what that
Oh,
does.
Nice.
You gave Wick that!
Uh-huh.
There it is.
Heck yeah.
Hey, man, LC,
Wait.
motherfucker.
So that
That's
is
fine. My weapons are better.
listen, yours can be improved. That one cannot. It is.
Yeah.
It is an artifact,
That
but
is-
it has no possibility of being improved. Yours can probably get better at some point.
What is it called again? Chaos
Horrifying.
chamber containment.
The Chaos Containment
His
Chamber.
laser gun.
It's his revolver that he disintegrated things with. I'll get you the stats later. So you have
Is this
that.
an item on D&D?
No, no. I will.
So
I
would
will
just grab
send
the
it to you.
stats for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I would
Callie,
appreciate
it'll
it.
be okay. I'll protect you and your boyfriend, your crippled boyfriend.
I love so much. I get a very powerful. I get this shit.
Yeah. You didn't have a lot of cool items, so I wanted to give you something to put
That's
you
fair.
put
Thank
you more on par with the rest of the group.
I appreciate it very much.
So there's that. To Drossen, a hand is going to extend to you, and you are going to receive a book. It is a book. The binding is made of twisting vines. The cover is made out of plant matter, leaves, and different things like that. This item. So this would also require attunement, and when you do, I can tell you more about what it is.
Okay.
But it is a book made of plants. I will say you do see the cover of it. Within just the front cover is the sky. The inside cover, rather than being paper, is the sky, and it seems to be shifting between different weather patterns. Some rain, some dark and stormy, some clear, and it just kind of shifts slowly and gradually. Strange little book.
Okay.
Galliard. Held out to you is going to be... It's weird. It's almost just this white, spindly thread. Do you take it?
He will
Okay.
reach for it.
When your hand touches it, and this Dickman's fingers are incredibly just long and bony, and just kind of let it go to fall into your hand. This thread, again, this is, I'm going to say this is not an attuned item. You don't exactly know what it does just holding it in your hands, but it almost seems elastic, as if it can stretch quite a great deal. Despite the fact that it is only maybe 5 inches long, that it can stretch a great deal. Unsure exactly what it can do necessarily, but that is kind of something that you can tell.
I don't want to interrupt, but
Yes.
the dog got outside and we don't know where it is. I'm gonna go find it real quick.
Go find it. Maldat, you are going to be handed a key. It is a clean iron key. It is about maybe a foot long, and it's got quite a bit of heft to it. There are no words when these items are given to you. It is simply just handed to you. The radioactive purple rat baby. You are handed a copy of Ratatouille. No, I'm kidding. Actually, no, that's totally in character for him. You are given a DVD copy on Blu-ray of Ratatouille with the extra
I can't
bloopers.
put this anywhere.
Nope. And you see when you're handed this, a small smile cracks in his face. You have it, but you can't play it.
The absolute tiniest, most minuscule middle finger you've ever seen.
A small chuckle, but you are going to also receive. It is It is a really small cart. Like, it's big enough for you, but only big enough for you. And it is like a little carriage. And that's what you get.
Incredible.
It actually kind of resembles Dickman's carriage, weirdly enough, but your size. Explore it. Maybe you'll find out what it can
I
do.
love it.
Tillsman will get back to at some point. Once they find their dog, hopefully they do. And Wick, you have already received yours. Now Kingsley and Zernus. Kingsley. A glance is given to you and to the lance that I'd assume is somewhere. Hesitates for a moment and holds out a vial to you. It is a vial of a dark brown murky liquid. And that is handed to you.
He'll take it, investigate it as best he can.
Just looking at it, which is, because I don't believe you have anything magical you could. Go ahead and make me either an Arcana check or investigation check. See if you can just maybe ascertain what this is.
And you said what to?
Arcana or investigation.
Doesn't matter, because both of us 0, so we'll go with an investigation.
Okay.
8.
Okay. You cannot determine what this is. It doesn't look good. There's something chunky in there, but you have it.
Yeah.
Okay. And Zernus. Oh, Zernus. You are actually going to be given 2 things. The first one is a rolled up piece of paper. It has a seal with the symbol of the god you followed. And the other one is a sorry, word escaped me. The other thing is a holy symbol of that same god. However, you can tell it's got this weird sheen to it. Not sure if it's the metal, if it's something, an enchantment perhaps, but it's got a weird sheen to it, to its surface. The symbol for this god, as that being order and justice, is a justice and vengeance, is a scale. Just very simply, a very simple scale. And those are what you were given. Then Dickman is going to scurry back into the peanut shell bucket. You're going to hear some moving around from inside. Then another hand is going to come out. Then a second one. And then Dickman just... It's so hard to breathe in there. All right.
Dickman,
Yes.
do you still have my mother's earring?
Looks back at the bucket. Sighs. Crawls in the bucket.
No.
Comes out a moment later with the earring.
Can I have it back, or you
I
be
ha-
disappearing for a while?
Looks to you, then looks to Galliard as well. Lingers on Galliard for a moment. I also have something else that I took from one of you.
I don't think he needs that.
What is Zernus talking about? Because Zernus wouldn't know.
Ooh.
What is
The
Zernus?
thing that happened in the brain.
Uh-huh.
That memory,
Ah.
That's what he's talking about.
But if I remember correctly, and maybe I'm getting it mixed up,
He figured out
No.
that Gallia doesn't remember.
he took from Galliard, not from Cernus. I had that backwards in my head. You're right.
Yep.
Okay.
Just
All right. Good enough. And then is going to hand you the earring. Handing it way up there because he's short again.
He'll crouch down and take it and like hold it in his fingers. And, are you sure? I don't
Yeah.
need me to deal.
Things got weird.
For you to say that, it must be true. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'll be around. In this realm or the next.
I
my
have
God,
another favor to ask, if it's not too much.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to pick up the rat by the scruff. And then hold him to Dickman. I am the only one who can understand this poor being. I wondered if there's anything you could do to help with that.
No, that's actually not true.
Oh, that would be funny, wouldn't it? That is funny. Dickman is going to look at you. Dickman is going to look at you, radioactive purple rat baby, just right in the eyes, your beady little eyes. Do you want them to be able to understand you?
I mean, it would be pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie.
It would be pretty fucking funny,
Other than
wouldn't it?
convenience.
Okay. Sounds good. Also, by the way, I just speak rat. I don't actually understand you. I learned rat back in my college days.
What college did you go to?
They're like enforced.
Ratosity, bro? What?
Yeah, I mean, I went to mouse school. Yeah, we learned how to use all kind of mouse tools.
Oh, great. Oh, no, I know Max. You know,
Yeah.
he's not great.
No, it was a trade school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, fine. If that's what you want, I mean, I guess I can. And he starts like out of his like little. He's got like little overalls on. Out of the pockets, he starts pulling like surgical tools and things. All right, I guess I can start operating and make it so that you can understand. It's fine. I'm kidding. It's
What
not.
the fuck?
It's not that hard. And he eats the scalpel, snaps his fingers, and then radioactive purple rat baby. You start to feel like a slight tightness in your throat for a second, and as quickly as it was there, it's gone. You don't know if that that was weird. It felt weird.
Oh, gosh.
Do you attempt to say something?
I think I was about to get a sore throat for a second, but the sheer radioactivity in my body just annihilated it. That was kind of awkward.
And all of you in that moment, that is the first sentence you hear from the
Holy
mouse.
What?
I told you he could speak!
I want to go hug my son. Come here. Come
You're
here,
still
my boy.
holding the rat. It's like, you have the other one.
Let me hug my boy.
You have the other one. You told
Wait.
me that was your favorite. This is my son.
Wait.
No, this is my son.
There's two? Where's the other one?
Oh, I pull out embryo
Kim.
MD.
Hey, him.
I pull him out, and he's just like sitting there in my hands, like hello.
Just kind of there. Dickman's hand reaches out, like about to like force choke the fucking mouse. The mouse zips toward his hand, and he holds it in his hand. I thought I told you not to go to this place.
What? So you know where it's from?
I know where this one is from a darker universe.
He came
Yeah,
from a
that's right.
bookshelf. I may have
Mm.
shoved yours, my son into a bookshelf, and that was supposed to out.
You might want to look away. Does anyone keep looking?
Cover my
Yeah,
son's face.
Kingsley does
I
not
gotta
look
keep
away.
looking. I want to see
What is
whatever's
he
gonna
gonna
happen.
do?
He's gonna
Okay.
I
eat
want
the
to see
rat.
what's gonna happen. I need to see this.
So,
I need to see it myself as well.
kind of like Ozzy during that one concert, but he was a bat in that case.
No.
And just rips its head off.
mean he lost that Uno, but he lost the game of life. I'm sorry.
That was a bit more gruesome than expected, but
That
at
is
least he's
right.
gone.
Rather delicious.
I
Was
let
that
out a small tear. I'm sorry.
was that Edith's or
Yeah.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
I'm gonna hand the rat over to Wick and let Wick recover from that.
Wick's gonna go walk a little bit away as she just like holds the rat and then goes to the kitchen and throws up in the sink.
Oh,
Dickman just thumbs over. What's up with her?
you know, if I
Give me
wasn't
a hold of
so
her back.
phased,
Yes,
if I
please.
wasn't so used to people eating things, I think I'd be doing the same.
Dickman's such an eldritch core and I love it. I'm sorry.
Dickman is just Discord
Silly.
from My Little Pony. Changed my mind.
Yes.
Oh yes.
And I love Discord for My Little Pony.
I'm a sucker for a good chaotic character. Okay.
Thank you, Dickman.
Oh no, thank you
like
for bringing
Wick?
this to my attention.
You ate him.
I will not be held accountable for that, Wick.
Motherfucker.
Ooh, cake.
Yeah, help yourself, Dickman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, we're
I
gonna
mean, at
leave
least my
soon.
son can talk now. I'm happy I can hear my son.
Everyone can hear the fucking shit that it
I'm
says.
so excited.
You're happy for now.
I'm happy for now because I couldn't talk to you before.
Can't wait to be a terror.
I love it. I can't wait.
As you should be proud.
What was the god's name of justice again?
Cethos. Cythos.
Thank you.
Yep.
In the bag of holding it goes.
Dickman is going to grab a slice of cake, throw it on a paper plate that he pulls out of his apron, and then he's going to say, "Well, this has been fun. I hope you all enjoy your gifts. We will be gone for some time, so don't die or do unnecessary things, or to be entirely honest, live your lives. Like, honestly, you've been kind of in a pickle for a little while now. Just live your lives."
You're too sweet, Dickman.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll get me to go into Firms League, so I'll write you a letter from everything that happens.
Let's overthrow a government.
Well,
Yeah.
that later.
No.
We'll do that later, bunny boy.
Yeah. It's your lives to live. Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Criminal Underground Organization.
I'm kidding.
I
Oh,
wasn't.
Fight a
You're not.
dragon. I
I'm
want
a
to
bit
fight a
disappointed.
dragon. Dragons are easier to take on than gods.
I
I
mean,
don't think.
Hey, they're not.
It's a
Dragons kind of
giant
suck.
lizard. It's a lizard.
they're pretty
I know it's
lizards.
a
That
No,
breeds
no.
fire or any sort
As
of
long
fire
as we don't
elemental.
cluster together.
Oh,
No, they
Hey,
breathe
Josh.
other things, because I learned all about them in the fairy tales. They breathe fire, ice, fuck, I don't remember the rest.
hey Josh, can I?
Yes, my family has taken them on before.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
Wick,
there's-
Wick, what were you
I think
saying?
we've had enough.
I just wanted to say if I can give Dickman one last hug. I really like
Oh.
the guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll hug him too.
Aw, this is so sweet.
You're gonna miss you, buddy.
Aw.
Tentatively
I wanna-
pat- I'm going to tentatively pat his shoulder because he's still a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the short people up so I can hug them at my level.
Ah.
Dickman,
We're gonna miss you
we'd
guys.
spoken before, and thank you for what you said.
Of course. And just remember my words carefully.
That
I
sounds
might be
scary.
gone, but I will fucking find you.
I'm
I
gonna
hope
cry.
that
It's
you
making me
do.
sad.
Out of all the ones we've encountered, you have been
You seem to be the only
the
one I
least
want
annoying,
to spare.
ironically.
I would say the most.
Tell me about it.
Please don't die,
Okay,
Dickman. It
I'm
would be
back.
very sad. Welcome
Oh.
back.
Welcome back.
Listen,
Don't die,
Tillsman.
Dickman.
Backing up time for a second. So things had been given out to each party member from Eldritch Horror Dickman, many arms, many legs, really like 5-foot long neck, climbed out of a peanut shell bucket. Backing up time. He is going to approach you and is going to hold out to you what at a first glance just looks like a really like a black rock. It looks like a black rock. But looking into it, as soon as it is closer and the light hits it, at first you think it is just a reflection of the lights in the room. But there are way too many dots of light to just be reflections. No words are said as it is handed to you. Do you take it?
I'll take my star map and I'll hold it out to it and then take it and see if it reacts at all.
There is no reaction to it, but you do see, and you can kind of tell, these dots of light are stars. Interesting point of order, though. You do see constellations. None of them match any that you know of. They are entirely different from any that you have seen.
I've acquired more star map.
An interesting thing, yeah. And it is a rock, probably maybe a foot and a half across by maybe a foot tall, and it's kind of it's a rough hewn rock. It's not like a polished slab. It is a really rough rock, but it's not super heavy. You expect it to be heavier based on its size, but it's actually really light. You could actually hold it in one hand and like toss it up in the air if you wanted to. But it's got these strange unknown constellations. So you have a thing. As you guys learn about these items that you have received, I will tell you more about them. But so far, you haven't. So you will not know until you do.
I want to ask Dickman one last thing.
Okay.
Just to honor him, just a little bit further.
Back to time. Back to time. All right. And he's like being hugged. Yes. What?
Remember very early on in our meeting, the first time we probably met, you seemed very sad at something that wasn't necessarily done. What was it? Began with T. Tetanus?
Tetanus. And he's going to wiggle out of your grasp because you were holding him in the air. Going to plop down toward the ground, into the peanut, into the bucket.
He seems so happy.
He's going to dive in there, and before you see the hand, you start to see a blade coming out.
Oh.
It is the blade of a greatsword. That's mostly brown and kind of reddish brown in color. And he's going to say, I call this the tetanus injector.
I will wield that in honor of your name, Dickman, if you would allow it.
He's going to toss it in your direction for you to catch it. Roll me a dexterity save to see if you catch it.
Oh, no. Slay.
Natural 20.
Natural 20 for a total of?
That was beautiful.
27.
27. Okay. You reach out, grab it out of the air, not by the blade. I will tell you, the handle is unwrapped. So there is no wrap on the handle. And in fact, are you wearing any kind of gloves or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Then you don't get any other information. It does not cut you or anything. But you are holding this blade by the handle. It doesn't hurt, but you can tell there are lots of jagged bits of metal around the hand.
I got rust in my hands every night.
I will tell you, this weapon does not require attunement, but it is considered magical.
One use greatsword, tetanus damage. I honor it. I wield it in honor of Dickman.
Yeah, okay, so all of the other items I have down so I won't forget them. This one, I know myself. I'm going to forget I gave this to you. So I'm just going to tell you what it does now before I forget, okay? I'll give you everyone else the stuff later, but this was, I did not expect. So it is called the tetanus injector. Once per turn, you can choose to take 1d10 damage, and whatever that roll is, you can deal as poison damage on your attack. But it's once per turn.
I hurt myself, and I give people tetanus.
Yes, and it is a great sword, so it's 2d6 normal. But you can't use a shield with the great sword.
No, I can't use a shield with great sword, but damage.
Yeah,
Damage.
it's more damage, so it's a fun one. But you do take the damage in addition, so keep that in mind.
I will wield this one.
Also, the way that it does it is the sharp bits on the handle, it like cut into your skin and whatnot, and you deal the damage. However, something you would learn is if you try to wrap the handle in cloth, it shreds the cloth. It does not. It will like disintegrate the cloth. So there is no way to not take.
Don't wear gloves or gauntlets around it.
There is no way to not take the damage. You try metal, it will shred the metal. It will still poke you through the gauntlet.
What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, you will get tetanus, and you will give them tetanus.
Tetanus for everyone.
I'll add a little thing though. You can, if you choose. It has an ability, but it is a one-use ability because it will destroy the weapon. You can choose to, and this is something you would not take any damage doing this. You could attempt to do 5d10 damage in addition to the weapon attack, but the weapon will shatter on impact. It will deal the damage if you hit. If you don't hit, the weapon will still shatter. So so you have to choose to do that before you roll to hit. It's an additional 5d10.
Okay, note to self, everyone. I will use this on Keen. I will give him tetanus whether it kills me.
Okay. Oh, and that 5d10, by the way, is poison damage. So keep that in mind. Okay. There you go. You have the tetanus injector. Enjoy.
Sweet.
Okay. Dickman is going to hand that to you, is going to it's kind of funny because it's like the Lady of the Lake handing Excalibur, but it's out of a peanut shell bucket, just
Oh.
and then climbs out. And kind of just pokes the head out. Well, enjoy the peanut shells. And don't forget, eat your vegetables and drink plenty of water. And then is going to duck back in the bucket and does not reappear.
Oh.
There is still a bucket of peanut shells on your workshop
I'm
floor,
gonna put
though.
the bucket on the table.
In honor of him.
A hand
Can we
reaches
have a
out and
toast
steals a
to
piece of
Dickman?
cake. No.
You have two.
Can we have a toast to Dickman and all? Well, just Dickman actually, because I don't think most of us agree with us, the Fae teachers.
We can spare Dickman. Even I agree on sparing Dickman.
Yeah, I wanna give him a toast in honor of his craziness.
Toast in honor. Let it be known
Toast
to
in
the
honor.
day. We serve
In
Dickman and
honor.
only Dickman.
And
I
you okay, Chelsea?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm fine.
As soon as Dickman is gone, Kingsley's gonna look at that weird bottle of brown liquid. I want to drink it.
No.
Kingsley? What?
Wait,
That might not
Kingsley,
be a
what?
good idea until Galliard looks at it.
I advise against it until you're able to walk.
Just because I want to do
yes,
something
I
doesn't mean
can
I'm
take
going
care
to
of
do it. I'm not that impulsive.
Intrusive thoughts to be
You're not like me.
go.
I forget about that.
I mean, now we have
I
a
can help with identifying in the process of that if anyone else wants that taken care of now, before, anything else more happens, like with this tetanus injector.
Jeez.
Hey, look, right, I wield this in honor of Dick.
I wield whatever he gave me, the little chaos container. Ding, Bobby. Something.
I need to find some really, really small horses.
Oh.
Permanent reduce enchantment.
I'm probably gonna break attunement to one of my items and start attuning to the book, since I
Okay.
can tell that it takes that.
Yes. So
It
The
takes an
book
hour to
does
do
take
that.
attunement. Galliard, do you begin identifying items? Do you all want Galliard to identify items before you do
Sure.
attunement?
I think I can
I
understand
kinda
what a
would like.
letter and a holy symbol is.
Well,
Alright, if you'd like.
here's what I will say, Zernus. I'm actually going to start with you because yours is easy. The letter. You can simply open it and you can read it. You don't need to identify anything.
Wow.
I don't wanna look at him or his stuff yet.
Okay, so you want to put that stuff away for now?
Yep.
Okay. Then here's what I will say. Drossen, do you have yours attuned? Or do you have yours identified?
No.
No. But you do attune.
I will start to, yes.
Okay. I'll just tell you what it does and what it is, since we'll get there regardless. If I was prepared and I had it up, that'd be great, but I was not. Hold on, please. It is not that chat. This one. This one. Please, for the love of God, there we go. Man, it was way further down there than I thought. Okay. This is the Book of the World. It is an encyclopedia of knowledge of the various plants and animals that exist on land, sea, and skies. When you read from it for an hour, you are granted the following. You gain proficiency in nature and survival checks, as well as history pertaining to geography and natural landmarks. Now, you can write this down. This is also in the Ethereal Codex, so you can find it there.
Yes. I kind of
yeah.
looked into that because
Yeah.
I
But-
have intuition.
Yeah, I'll read it anyway, just for the sake of reading it. Geography and natural landmarks. If a creature already has proficiency, they instead gain expertise in the same skills. So you gain either proficiency or it increases to expertise. You may pick one favored terrain that will act as it would in the natural explorer ability of the ranger class. And you gain advantage on checks for determining information on flora and fauna, if it is naturally occurring and not man-made. So, for example, if it was a naturally occurring plant, you can gain information, but if it is something that was like bred by man, then you wouldn't be under those same effects. The Book of the World can only affect one creature at a time. If another creature were to read it, the previous reader would cease to gain these benefits. The effects last until the creature is knocked unconscious, affected by a mind-altering spell or effect that would in some way remove this. So, like a modify memory, making you forget you read the book, as an example. Fun little item. Kingsley, do you have yours identified? And Galliard, you can either use spell slots or ritual for this. I'll allow you to choose what you do in that way, okay?
Is anybody in a hurry to have theirs like really known immediately what it is?
Not really.
No?
Alright, then I'm gonna be just ritually identifying it. Find a nice, quiet, darker place in the corner, sit with my hat on, cross-legged, and just like start sifting through with everything.
Okay.
Casting the spells ritually.
Cool. So then, Kingsley, will do you next since you're next on my list. This is a potion of rejuvenation. You are currently in a pretty rough state right now. Essentially, what this potion will do is it acts as like a greater restoration potion. Which in your current state, you were affected by a godly presence. It is not going to get you to up to 100%. But it is at least going to make it so that you can not only walk and get around easy, but it'll get you to a good enough position where you can at least get to a way to get out of here without suffering. So any health negative stuff that you have, you can remove that. You are considered at full health. I believe I gave you a strength penalty as well.
Yeah.
You'll have like a... I don't have it in front of me. What's it at currently, and what's your max for strength? It's not going to fully remove the effects, but it'll be better than it is.
His like normal strength score is 16.
He's at a 13. Is that you said he's at a 13?
He's usually 16, but he's currently at 10.
Currently at 10, that's what I was asking. Sorry, you're cutting out a tiny bit on Discord. At least seems like it for me. We'll fix it later. Not important right now. I'm going to say you're up to a 14. So still a -2, but that will come with just general rest. So there you go. And you have that in your possession. I do want to ask, because you wanted to drink it, but you didn't know what it did yet. Do you after you know what it does?
Oh, as soon as he knows that it's a safe thing, it's going down.
Your head and body hurt so bad the moment you drink it. It feels like your spine is realigning, your legs are being broken and reset, and your arms are screaming with pain like you just did the most intensive arm workout of your life. And your head is splitting with the worst migraine. But then it's gone and you feel great. Like, really great. Okay. Zernus, you said you don't want to do anything with yours yet?
I'll read it when we're traveling, but I don't want to look at this fey creature's stuff.
That is fair. Maldette, I know I said your name and was going to give you something. Did I give you something? Because I think something interrupted it.
I don't think so. I heard my name too, but then I think stuff happened.
Yeah. I think somebody asked a question and I blanked. So actually, I'm going to say what you were given and it would be identified so you could know. It is a... Okay. Oh, the key. The fucking key. That's right. I did give it to you.
Yeah.
The key. It is... If I can find it, hold on. I gotta scroll. I think it's higher up. I think I'm too far down. Yeah, way too far down. There it is. Okay. This is known as the key to the underworld. It is able to open a portal to the realm of death, the underworld. Once one enters the realm, this is the only way to enter or exit. Only the person with the key can open this portal. That is what it does. It is a portal. It is a way to open the portal to the realm of the dead. And you now have that in your possession.
Nice.
I will say it does also have one minor beneficial property as well while you're attuned to it. I actually have to roll that on a table. I'll get that to you probably after the session. Just because it won't make too much of a difference right now. Let me just send that in your chat though, so don't forget. One minor beneficial property. And those minor beneficial properties are actually, like, a lot of them are fantastic. So I will get that to you later. And that's while it is on your person and attuned.
Sweet.
So there you go. The radioactive purple rat. You were given the copy of Ratatouille on Blu-ray, which is exactly what it is. Blu-ray with the special features. But you also have in your possession a miniature Dickman's Bagwagon of Things, which it acts as a demi-plane for you. You are the only person that can fit in it unless someone can shrink down to your size. If someone can shrink down to your size by either like wild shape or other means, they could also enter. But it acts as a demi-plane. So essentially you have a little pocket dimension. You do so by walking into the floor using the stairs, which, no, you cannot see them, but you know they're there. Like you mentally know they're there. This is not an attuned item. The Ratatouille on Blu-ray, however, is. That's a joke. No, the wagon is considered more of a vehicle. You could hook up horses to it if you'd like. There are spots for 2 horses. They would have to be miniature horses,
Idea.
like really miniature. But you do have space to hook up 2 miniature horses if you can find them, or some other means of towing it. You could get like little squirrels, maybe. That would work. I don't know. It's up to you.
That's a rodent. Those are rodents.
Yeah. They're small enough.
Stop.
The slavery.
Yeah. But it's a little
Stop learning from my
wagon.
elven ancestry. Stop it.
That kind of
Bad.
rat.
Not that kind of rat, no.
Elf moment.
But it is a little wagon. It acts as a demiplane. It also, once per day, you can call from this demiplane a weapon. Once per day, you can call a weapon. It can either be your size or a size for like a medium creature as well. So if you all didn't have weapons, but you had this carriage, you could call forth. It's just a mundane weapon, and the weapon does disappear after a long rest, but you could call just any kind of weapon.
Incredible.
And if it is a
And
weapon with
subject to
ammunition,
×2.
yeah. Oh god, no, that is a magic item. But it has to be a mundane weapon. And if it is a weapon of some kind that does require like the ammunition property, so like a bow or gun, it comes with a small supply of ammunition, like 10 rounds or bolts or whatever the smallest amount you could normally purchase, which is usually 10. So there you go. That is what you got. I'll say, Wick, yours is easy. It is the Chaos Containment Chamber. It is the weapon of Dickman. It's fucking nuts. I will.
It's his weapon.
It's his weapon. So the one that is in the Ethereal Codex is not the same stats as the one you've got. I haven't. I reworked them when it looked like you guys might fight them at some point. I did not update it in the Codex yet. So I will get you the stats after the session, or probably tomorrow, to be honest.
That's
fair.
fair.
It is very close to what's in there. It just, there's a slight alteration. Something that would have made it a little fairer if you were fighting him.
I thought it was just a random weapon he gave me, not gonna lie. I think I wasn't paying attention when it was said that it was his, which makes it all the more special.
It's,
And he's
yeah,
with great care.
it's his firearm. It is considered a revolver, 6 shots. It does not require ammunition. It is sort of this iron, like just sort of a rough iron gun, stylized after, if you've seen like what's often referred to as like a Navy revolver is the style. If you look it
Yeah.
up, you can kind of see it. Instead of the cylinder being a solid thing you load ammunition into, however, it is glass, like sort of a frosted glass, and on the inside is what kind of looks like a piece of topaz that spins within it and glows slightly. The shots almost having this sort of topaz color to match, as like a tracer that fires out the end. The weapon is very light, but incredibly powerful. So I'll get you the stats on that, the reworked stats on that when I get the chance. And
In
then
honor of Dickman, we reunite.
in honor of Dickman.
Yeah.
And then Tillsman. You have, trying to think of what to call it here, because actually this is one I didn't have a name for originally. Just an idea. A chunk of starlight is what I'll call it. You have the chunk of starlight. It is a piece of rock that gives you a glimpse into a part of the night sky. Effectively, you can use this to see the night sky at any given date, time, or location. And once per day, you can use the scrying spell using this. Not just on the night sky, but also on people or things. Essentially, once per day, you can cast the Scry spell. You also can add into your spell list, as long as you are attuned to this item. I believe I'm double checking that I'm getting my spells correct, because I could be getting it. I don't want to give you the wrong spell here. Skywrite. That's what it's called. Which you do normally have access to anyway. But this is something that you can cast at will using no spell slots. As long as you have the thing attuned and in your possession, you can just cast it at will, no spell slots. You can cast Skywrite. I'm gonna say that's it. That's one I kind of came up with on the fly. If I think it deserves a little something else, I will. But for now, we'll say that's it.
You can always just treat all of our items like the artifact rules in the Dungeon Master's Guide, just where they get better over time.
I think that's what I might do, except for the ones that are already really great.
Yeah.
So yeah, for now, we'll do that. Now, Galliard, you are doing all this identifying, and then you get to yours. Yours, at a first glance, is a thread, a slightly like a creamy blue is, I guess, the best way to describe it. It's sort of a really like white blue, baby blue kind of coloration. Gives off the faintest, and I mean faintest bit of light. It seems to almost kind of stick to your hand in not an uncomfortable way, but more of the way of like wouldn't easily be able to drop it. This item, once you identify it, is known as a thread of fate. It is a piece of the loom that the deity of fate, Essus, used. What this item effectively can do is a few things. One, you can use it to cast the alarm spell. Because the alarm spell normally can be done as like a ritual, or I believe it's normally like a minute. I'm double checking here. Alarm 5e. Just making sure I'm getting my stuff right. Yeah, normally takes a minute.
Yeah, it's 1 minute.
With this, you can cast it as a ritual, if you still choose, or as an action. So you can basically throw the thread out, it will cover your desired area, and then return to your hand. And so you can cast it as an action within 6 seconds. And if you cast it as a ritual, it only takes a minute. So it would take the normal casting time of a minute rather than the full ritual of 10. Or in this case, 11. So it's either ritual for a minute or spell slot as an action. You also, and now I actually have to find the item. This was, nope, wrong thing here. It is a piece, a fraction of a pre-existing item, Essus's item, the Blindfold of Fate. What you can do is you can, at the beginning of a day, so after you take a long, well, let me specify, after you take a long rest, you can choose one of 3 properties: Blind Sight, Dark Vision, or True Sight. And you, it's kind of, I'll try to describe it the best way I can. After a long rest, you choose one of those properties. And then at some point throughout the day, before your next long rest, you can use an action to activate that ability. And then you will have that ability for the next hour. So for the next hour, you would give yourself either Blind Sight, True Sight, or Dark Vision. It is a piece of the Blindfold of Fate, is what this item is. Which I think I see you looking at it there, or somebody is.
Yep.
Basically, you can, the blindfold normally would give you all of those as long as you're wearing it, all 3 of those. This will, you have to choose one because it is only a piece. But There you go. And that, I believe, is everybody. And Kingsley, you've already downed yours. And you have the lance as well, which I will tell you, the lance has been humming since it was touched. And I will tell you what that means later. Because it is a Nir's item. And so it has gained some of its power back as well. So we'll get to that later. Does anyone else have any birthday things or anything they'd like to do?
Ooh.
Because
Zernus, you have more stuff coming your way.
You do.
Engrossed with my light reading of every single thing on the world. Just some light reading for the next hour.
Real.
Nerd.
That's sweet. I can give you a wrench that I hit you with as a gift.
I do believe you're going to be giving that to him quite a few more times, in all honesty.
Oh yeah, I am.
No,
I'll be sure
wait,
to bring
I
it
do
with
have
me.
a favor.
Huh?
I do have a favor.
What's your
I need to
favor?
grab it. I didn't finish it.
What?
I need you to
Hmm.
I need you to fix my father's sword, the one he gave me.
Oh. I can definitely try.
It since Aurelia gave you the ring, this is all flavor by the way. It's because I think it's my sword doesn't turn back into its pen form, which as you can assume is quite annoying to store it. Now, I don't suppose maybe you could have a look at that and try and help me with that?
Are you finally being nice to me?
You threw a wrench at me. No.
Give me the
And-
sword, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, he puts this on the table. I haven't finished it, but that's what the sword looks like.
Well, I'll be sure to look through it and fix up whatever's wrong with it.
Thank you.
Out of
I
your
don't want your wrench. You can keep the
Yeah,
wrench.
because
throw it at me
birthday
later.
boy needs to be special. You're so birthday boy.
Yeah, with the brain damage, I'm so special now, guys.
Yeah, with the birthday boy being so special, I guess I can do some special treatment.
Please don't baby talk me.
I will. Okay.
Don't.
See you later. I'll be back in
Thank
a few
you.
hours. No problem.
Do you want some actual presents? Yes, you do.
It's crazy now. We can hear him talk.
Yeah, all of you
It's
can hear
weird to
him.
properly hear you now. It's quite disturbing.
Yeah,
if I
I'm
may
not
say
crazy.
So.
That's what I've been hearing
What are
every
you
single time.
hearing?
The amount of out-of-pocket things this creature has said to me, and only I can hear. Oh my god, the amount of war crimes you're gonna cause.
Unfortunately, now we're all going to be able to hear it.
Well, I would apologize, but I'm not going to because I don't care. Anyway, I got you some stuff.
Okay.
I quite like this rat.
Yeah.
You should, didn't you?
Love it.
So, firstly, oh yeah, I can totally tell these boxes apart. I don't know. Take this one.
Okay. I have a box now. What do I do with the box?
Open it.
Okay, I'll open the box.
And this will be the fucking banger set of coloring supplies that needs to be real.
You look neuron activation, shapes and colors.
Yeah, I know. Pretty sweet, isn't it?
Like autism, he's completely tuned out, sat in the corner with these things now. This is the only thing.
Wait, that's not the only shit. I got my order wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Ernest. He
yes,
tries to
yes,
clap to get your attention, but he's so small.
His ear twitches and he turns to look at his like pupils dilated. He's like he's on shrooms or something.
All right, just look away. Step away. You can play with it later. I have something else.
Okay, fine.
Take this box.
Takes the box and opens it.
And this is the dolls of you and Radioactive Purple Rat Baby and Sock.
He'll pick up like them all. He'll look at them. These voodoo dolls.
No. What the fuck?
Well, they look
They're
very
just
good,
normal.
but like
Actually, honestly, no, they're normal. I'm sure.
do you think I could make them voodoo dolls?
The voodoo is an older
Why
and
are you
weaker
gonna
art.
hurt us?
I mean, like, my back hurts. No one here knows how to give a massage.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Just get someone to stand on it.
Wait, no. I have an idea. I'm going to put all three down, and Josh, I would like to use my ability, the art manipulation one, to see if it works.
Well, I believe okay. So do me a favor. Go ahead and I want you to roll d20 and add your spellcasting modifier. So just your charisma modifier. Which, whatever. I don't know what your charisma is. I think it's like
3.
3. Okay.
So just okay.
d20 plus 3.
6.
6 total or 9 total.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay. Should
I try it again?
It is a higher DC. Every fail makes the DC higher. So you can. Nothing happens. You try to focus on it. Nothing happens. You can try again, but it is a higher DC.
It's the shape and color. The box is getting to my brain. I
You
need
just-
to concentrate.
You just keep looking at the box and go, colors. And then, no, focus.
Okay. That's better. That's an unnatural 20.
Okay. That was the DC at this point. No. But you look at these things because paintings seemed easier because they were more, especially if they were realistic. This is hard because it's a basic idea of what you look like off of someone else's description. And they do look really good. And then you watch the arm, or I should say the leg of the sock one twitch. And then crawl onto its 4 legs. And the tail starts to wag. And it looks at you.
Hey, you baby!
And then the Zernus one stands and hands on the hips looks up at you. They cannot speak. And then the rat one stands. And you even see that the crochet doll has a little crocheted accordion and starts pretending to play. There is no sound.
Josh,
This is kind of creepy considering they're me-sized.
I feel like Galliard and the rat Noah I had talked about out of conversation. Can I train my art manipulation? Can it get stronger?
You can certainly try.
I need to go find a statue in Kingsport.
You can certainly try. What I will say is, similar to how you've experienced with paintings before, whatever situation they are in, or if it's somebody you know, like a drawing, it generally acts like that person or thing. The sock one just looks really happy at whatever's going on. The radioactive purple rat one looks at the group and just starts pointing at people and like, just pointing, and then points at the radioactive purple rat like, the Zernus one collapses into a ball and starts holding its head and just rocking in place and looking at itself and just starts rocking in place.
Why would you burden them with knowledge?
You know these things like
that rat doesn't want to be alive.
Zernus, I want you to make me a Constitution save. It's like a concentration check, is what you're making.
Yeah, I imagine so. That's not good.
What is it?
It's a natural 1.
What for a total of?
7.
7. You see this and your concentration breaks and they fall limp.
I'm gonna
Give me ragdoll physics. Like they're
But
ragdolls.
pretend that didn't happen at all, because that's not at all how I see myself. That's not how my power works. Visually seeing people and how they act, that doesn't act kind of thing.
You're
Anyway,
scaring me with your abilities.
Do we need to talk about this?
Do you need a therapist?
I don't. What? No, I think.
This is an intervention, Zernas. We're here for you.
Fuck's sake! No, it's not. I'm fine. It's hard to concentrate, it's shapes of the coloring stuff.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. Well, if anyone else wants to give him a subpar present that can't rival mine before he goes over to his shiny little pencil, now is the time, I guess.
I mean, I was about to, but then you kind of like upstaged everyone with that, and I don't feel like this is going to be sufficient compared to
Give him
that.
your gift,
Womp, womp,
Galliard.
womp, get over it.
Do you
I
see?
really like
This
this
is what
draft.
This is what I had to do.
I really, really like this draft.
Galliard, I feel like you need to get some of your priorities and relationships sorted.
No, I like this guy. He's got the right mentality.
You only like him
yeah.
now because you can talk to him. The amount
That's true.
of back talk you gave this man when he couldn't hear you, Galliard.
What people don't know
Anyways.
doesn't hurt them. Knowing things is so painful.
Yes, I know things. I know what you said.
Yeah.
It is.
Galliard, you wanted to give me something.
Oh, yes. It's not as fun as the other, but it's more possibly practical in our, current lifestyle. And he's going to retrieve this sort of like leather bracer, and it has like an almost like a horseshoe or upside down U, with this like line through it and 3 bars, this silvery rune of abjuration on it. And he's going to hand it over. Here, goes on your wrist. Oh, you know that you can cast that one shield ability, like, or spell, right? You can just do that innately.
Yes.
Okay, think
Because of
fast,
the-
and he's gonna cast magic missile at him.
Shield.
Okay. Shield blocks it. Now, here's the question. Zernas, had you put that thing on your wrist before you had done so?
Oh no, was I given time to?
I mean, I don't know.
I'll say yeah, you were.
Okay, so there was a
More
pause.
shoe on my wrist, I guess.
Okay, straps on, and it fits.
It's like more like a rune.
Yeah, it's like it's basically like a it looks like it would fit over a standard bracer. So you got to tighten it a little bit without the armor on, but you get it on there. And it's this metal plate with some runic symbols on it, as was said. When the magic missile is cast, you reflexively go to do the thing for shield, but before you can actually finish, it's actually a little faster than you. You just raise your arm, and this wall of light appears from the bracer, and just, and then the magic missiles just do. They're almost attracted to it like a magnet, and just nothing.
See, there we go. It's better against
missile at me.
Yeah, see, I wanted to show you what it does. It's better. It's good at defending against sort of magic and magical attacks, and it won't look like you're carrying around a shield, and if anyone sees you, it's like the sword sort of principle. You didn't want to look like you were like had too much going on. You could take people by surprise. That's good. It defends against things like people what I can do and such, and yeah.
Oh, it's anti-wizard then.
Yeah, well, sort of, yes, in a way.
Is the shield like the magic light thing wall solid at all?
Interestingly enough, no and yes. Okay. When you can put your hand through it, like while it is up, your hand can pass through it. But as you saw with the magic missile, it blocks that. And also, like you, for the sake of this description, kind of bring your arm down, and it like bumps into the table, and it bumps into it like it's a solid object. And like
Wait, throw a
let's
winch at me.
let's just say hypothetically there's someone next to you. You know, we'll say I don't know.
Wait.
Mungdungus is on the table.
Oh no!
And you just kind of are like feeling it around, feeling the weight of it. It bumps without hurting him, bumps into Mungdungus. It is a solid thing, but you can pass through it.
Oh.
What I will tell you is this, because at some point you'll figure this out anyway. It is a adaptation of an augmentation that you can purchase in the city of Kingsport and other places, which you have actually seen. You have seen this technology when you all died in Kingsley's house. You saw one of the soldiers using this. What this allows you to do, because your hands are free, that greatsword you got, and any other two-handed weapon, you can use and have the ability of a shield. You have, because you don't need to have a free hand for the shield. So you can cast spells with your free hand, use a one-handed weapon or two, and still gain the abilities of a shield. Among some other things, which I'll send you later.
Yeah.
It
Shield.
yeah.
How do I put it away? It's just help. How do I put it away, Galliard?
Try to focus on it.
How do I do that? What do I focus on? The metal? The magic?
Okay, Zernus, I want you to make me an Arcana check.
Can I help him with this, or is
That's
this
a
fully
2.
Zernus?
That's a two. Okay, go ahead with advantage since Galliard's helping. You're both trying to figure out how to put this thing away. What is it?
It's a 3.
A 3 total? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say. You're like really focusing and your head starts to hurt. And Galliard, like, you know you were shown, but you're just like, in this moment, Zernus is kind of lack of focus and just trying to figure it out. It's not really helping. I'm gonna say though, after like a couple minutes of frustratingly trying to get this to figure out, Zernus, you just go, God damn it, shake your arm, do a twist in just the right way, and when you twist and twist back, it's gone. The like shield is gone. You just accidentally do something that makes it work. So you don't. So for reference, I want you to know this for next time you use it.
Put it away.
You don't know how, but you accidentally put it away.
Do that again. Can you do that again?
Do what
I'll
again?
try. The wrist, you were shaking or something. I don't know.
Turns it upside down and then back forward. Like what? You know that that's one toy that or
From 5
that
seconds.
thing.
Yeah, just go. Okay, Galliard, you'd be standing right there. Galliard, I want you to make me a deck save.
Oh, damn it.
Because you're just like, huh? Phew, and then it passes through you because it's not hitting you. But Galliard's standing right there and gets walloped. Or maybe. We'll see.
That's a 19.
A 19. You see it before as it's appearing and you back up just as it goes right in front of your face.
Oh, see? There you go. That's it. Good job.
Wah, wah.
I had that device in my house. It's
Just
gone.
do that then.
Mhm. Yeah. And you do it and it's gone. There you go.
That'll be fine. Wait, come here.
She's doing it at the table, just on, off.
No. Wait. Look at this cool piece of metal light across my arm. Look at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roll.
Deck save. Wick, please give me a deck save.
Will do. Hold on. Shit.
Okay. Also, we will be ending here soon. I just want to get to one. I wanted to finish
That's
this
a
real
10.
quick. 10? Okay.
That's a 10. Yeah.
I'm gonna say you're fine because I will say 10 for this fun thing until I get actual things for it is the thing, but it might be higher later. Because yeah, I do want to ask though for not to take away from it, but just for sake of time because it is already 10. Is there any other gifts that would be in exchange? No. Okay.
Oh, I don't have anything that I could give other than what I've already given Zernus. So
What did you
Trauma.
give me? Yeah, trauma. The
Sorry.
magic of friendship. What did you do?
Kingsley's
Oh, the ring.
actually going to
Yeah.
approach Zernith.
Hi, lanky man. I didn't know you could walk.
What do you feel about mounted
Mounting what?
mounted combat on a horse?
The only time I've ever done that is back in my training. I mean, it's cool, I think. It's hard to do, though.
If I were to help train you a bit with it, I want you to have
Which one?
Rain, my childhood.
Where's your childhood horse?
She's been of so much use to me. I feel bad leaving her behind. I think you'd get more use out of it than I would.
Well, horses are finicky creatures. It depends if she likes me.
She's kind, gentle, pretty strong.
I was told that before, and then I got kicked in the face by one. Forgive me if I don't entirely trust that judgment.
How about we see how it goes? You can decide.
Okay. I don't know where your horse is, though.
They should be with the family traveling.
Oh,
Which
okay.
I plan to ride with.
Okay, I
They're
don't mind that.
going to the same place, just different view.
Okay. A horse, I guess, if it likes me.
She's always been a pretty great judge of character.
Mm. Okay.
Okay.
You know why I'm staring at you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jesus. Anyone else have anything they'd like to do before? Because you guys can set off whenever you want, but if there's nothing else to do now, we'll just say it skips till that time.
Is Soraya there? She returned.
She has returned. I'll say about this time. And just kind of steps in. When are we thinking to head off? Sorry, I missed most of the festivities.
Don't worry about it. I don't think her mind could handle Dickman.
Who?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He's something.
Oh.
Oh, and also holds up the rat to her.
Oh, yeah, no, you didn't miss much.
Oh, that's what you sound like.
I know, it's such a gravelly, sexy voice.
It's fantastic.
I believe we'll head out in the
Looks at my
morning.
son. This up for lettering with my fiance.
What are you
Whoa.
gonna do about it?
Josh, how much does the
Soraya,
White
do
Ray?
you enjoy jazz music?
Not a lot.
My son, I'm taking
How hard
I'm
do you
taking
think
my
it would
son.
be to punt the rat?
Not hard.
You see?
Does it require a roll?
It does. It would be
Okay.
a attack roll, we'll say, with strength. No proficiency, because you're not proficient in punting.
Still 17. Punt
17.
the rat.
What's the AC of the rat?
Definitely not fucking 17.
Okay. So you get dropped and punted. Roll, so it'd be 1 plus your strength. What's that?
My strength?
Yes, because you're the one doing the kicking.
My strength. Can I make this not hurt?
I mean, sure. If you want to just be a light tap, yeah.
I want to punt the rat, but I don't want to harm it, because if I did, that's 6 bludgeoning damage.
I will say it's still going to be 1 bludgeoning damage, at least, because you can make it not hurt a lot, but, like, it would still be 1. So you take 1 bludgeoning damage.
is not fatal.
No.
Well, no, but remember your HP used to be 5?
Yeah.
I've still got that in my brain.
So you get punted into the wall.
Ouch.
Nope, not me. I'm gonna then hug Soraya. Mine. You're flirting.
You're very... it's fine, Jonas. It's fine.
My baby.
Just gonna mess with her ears.
Yeah.
By the way, for point of reference, speaking of the rats and things, there is still half a mouse corpse on the ground. It's just in the middle of the floor. Yeah, it's just in the floor. Yeah.
Does anybody know any necromancy?
I will strangle you. Wait. I'll try.
That
Okay.
would be an interesting experience.
Anyway, we were discussing leaving soon, right? I don't feel like being here when everything goes down.
We should probably go then. People are leaving rapidly. We want to make sure we can get some form of transportation before it's all gone.
Yes, the train.
The train is an option, or I believe there was some other type as well that was mentioned.
The Grims we can go with.
My family did put forward that as an option.
We could use that. That'd be good.
I have another question. We are leaving, but no one discussed the different. I know we're going to Bermsley, but do we go to the other stops before, or? I know
a lot of places between
Yeah.
here and Bermsley.
We can.
All
I
right.
mean, we might
decide
have to,
later.
we might have to restock on the way if we're just wanting to head straight
Right.
there.
Right.
Okay.
It's not going to be instantaneous travel as much as that would be preferable.
There was a festival happening somewhere. We could stop by there.
Oh, that would be fun.
That was on the way,
right?
Mm.
That was in
Different
Maldet's
town.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna at least take my blueprints with me so that I can have them, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wanna.
Wait, is there no sort of teleportation that we could take? Because I know that my family has something like that. That possibly might be helping.
One of you knows the answer to that.
Ooh.
There's one of us here.
I don't know. Hey, Maldet, you there?
Hello?
Hi. Hello. Hello. Yes.
Sorry, I
Gal-
kind of zoned out.
You're fine.
It's a bad habit.
You're okay. Galliard was asking about teleportation and that being an option, which you're the only person that knows the reason that isn't.
Yes, no, it's not an option. Probably due to the Tillsman's person.
Oh, Keen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I talked to your father.
Oh, you did? What did he say?
Yeah,
Is he all right?
Yeah, he said he was doing all right. He said he has to stay because he has to protect the pillar.
The spire, yes.
Yeah, that thing. And I told him, why don't you just leave? He's like, oh, because I know I gotta stay and protect. And I'm like, what if you're just staying in vain and it ends up like getting destroyed anyway? He's like, eh.
He's always been like that. You can't really dissuade him once he sets his mind to something, and this is our
And
responsibility.
he said as well to he'll see you around, is what he said.
Oh, he did.
But
That
I don't
sounds
know.
very ominous.
I don't know.
Thank you.
We'll see
Thank you.
you
Yeah,
later.
I asked him. I asked your dad about teleportation, and apparently it's out. So
I suppose it's locomotion. Thank you. Now that it means a lot, even though that I don't think that was your intent to seek out. But thank you.
Yeah.
So train and land vehicle only option.
I
Right now.
believe was it Kingsley's people that had land vehicles?
Yep.
That's the one.
I-
That's the one that we just mentioned about. Yeah.
How many people does it fit?
Us.
Us.
You
Acid.
you don't know because you actually don't really know what the vehicles are. Kingsley, the only things you knew your parents had were carriages and like horses and things. But
Yeah.
from the description, it's something else.
It's not.
Would Galliard have any
Yeah.
idea, or not really?
I'm gonna say no. You are unsure what it could be because it sounds like it's some sort of motorized vehicle, but nothing like that existed when you guys were here. Time has
We
passed.
kind of missed the.
Oh.
We kind of missed the invention of the automotive.
Is there an
Or the
like
Industrial
thinking-
Revolution and its consequences.
It's a
Did we?
land boat. It's a land flying boat.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, airships.
Anyways.
Hey,
Wait,
I don't
and
see
things
you
existed, but-
telling me what it is. Or could
What's
possibly be.
happening? What are we talking about?
Trying to figure out
we're
what the hell
thinking
car
about
is.
going where to. We're thinking about going with Kingsley's family.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
down to go. I'm just gonna pack my blueprints. I'll be good. We're all ready.
Okay.
Whenever you're going, are
I'm
we
gonna
going
fly over
immediately?
there right now.
As soon as possible. Probably
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
I'm just gonna
now.
fly over there, see what there is.
Okay.
Did
We'll
you
meet you
decide
there,
to become an
Malda, if you'd
express
like.
train? The fuck?
If
I don't
If
know
you
that
would like,
thing.
Maldet, we can meet you there.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Real quick, while you guys are packing up and things, Meldet, I'll tell you what you see, because I'm not going to make you roll. It's obvious. You would know, because this was conversation from last session, the one before, I believe, where this is. The Kingsley's family's things are by the train station, so all kind of in the same place. You go over there, and a few things. One, more automaton type vehicles, legs, treads, wheels, all making their way out of the city. A lot of them are moved past at this point, but you can still see them in the distance. Also, parts of buildings are gone, and also on legs walking away. Like whole city blocks are walking away. And like where you can kind of tell where they are, because one, it's where the buildings split apart, the thing you noticed earlier, and two, you just see holes in parts of the street, and then you look over there and see the buildings walking and go, oh. You make it to the train station, and you see the trains, which are large steam, a lot of them double boilered steam engines, with just massive train, like things of train cars behind them. Some of them are flat and actually have like horses and carriages on them, and then a lot of them are passenger cars, the grand majority. Some are cargo cars for the people's stuff. However, a little bit outside the wall, you see people you recognize, that being Kingsley's family, who you had met once before, a couple times before. And you see they're standing next to these. They're not super big. They're maybe 2 or 3 people tall and pretty wide. You can kind of gauge they can fit maybe 3 people a piece. And there are about a handful of these vehicles. So enough for you guys and Kingsley's family, but not much else. The front of them are 2 giant wheels on suspension, and the back of them are almost what looks like a large paddle, like almost kind of like a paddle boat. And kind of, you can kind of gauge, folded up along the body are also 2 mechanical legs. This is sort of like an all-terrain vehicle. The paddle for certain terrain, the legs for others. And it seems these are all just sort of covered wagon type things on the top. Their design is strange, but you get the idea they're made to cover various types of distances, or types of terrains, I should say. So that is the vehicles we have at your disposal for that, as well as the train. You could also try to hitch a ride on one of the automatons making their way out. Whole city blocks, but you don't know where they're going. And that is what you see.
Cool. How far is it from Wix?
To the station?
Yeah, to the station.
Probably as at a walk, it would be maybe about 15 minutes. It's not super far because Wix Workshop, where it is in relation up the stairs and everything, it's pretty close to the wall. So it's not super far. If you were to run, you could get there a little quicker, shave a few minutes off.
Sweet. I will go back to the group and relay.
Okay.
Let Kingsley know his family is there.
So there you go. So my question for the rest of you: you all pack up, you get your stuff ready to go. Do you wait till the night or do you head out right then?
Right then, probably.
Right then.
Okay.
Yeah, Elliot knows
It's
something
a
else.
little bit of a pressing issue.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all begin to head up and begin the run. Do you run? Do you walk? What do you do?
Can I coordinate some things? Cast sending to make sure that my family and my friend are getting out, saying that we're going now.
For sure. I will just say, and just give you answers here in brief, again, due to time.
Yeah.
Family that is going to
Okay.
be leaving is out.
All right.
Your father, though, if you do you check in with him as well?
I will. I'll use all 3 spell slots, 3rd level.
Okay.
The first one is making sure, like, contacting with whatever would be procedure. No, it'd be checking with mom.
Okay.
Check with mom, make sure she's out and everything.
From her, you get back. Took one of the first airships out. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. Be safe. Your father is still at the house.
Hmm.
I'll add one thing on there because there were a few words left. Ember is with us.
Okay. It takes care of everybody.
Yeah, because she was told to go there.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Ascending to my father.
Mm-hmm. And what do you send?
This is me too, Josh. Am I cutting out at all?
I mean, if you were speaking there, I didn't hear anything, but you're not like cutting out when
Oh,
you do
okay.
speak.
All right, just making sure because it's a little wonky on my end.
Gotcha.
So the first sending, which might only be one. Oh, let's see. Father, mother, and family, friends, and certain staff are fine. They are escaping. What are you doing? Do you need help?
A second goes by, 2 seconds go by, and for a moment you think that nothing went through or something happened, and you start to get a little nervous, and then you hear back from your father. I do not need help. Get out. Be safe. Be who you want. It will be fine. I'm proud of you.
I'm gonna cast Sending one more time.
Okay.
Thank you for all you've taught me. I hope to see you soon. You were a good father. I love you.
A response comes. I didn't always try as hard as I could have. You say I was a good father, but you were a better son. Be safe. And then, yeah, that's it for the message.
And that's all I can say for now.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they'd like to do before leaving? No? Okay. Any paperwork or materials you wish to get, Wick, you are able to. You have some bags of holding at your disposal, as well as a mini demiplane now, so you can get a good amount of materials, just not anything massive. Any, like, full machines you could.
I am aware, which is why I'm taking the blueprints of my unfinished Cerberus dog project with me.
It's a good idea. Okay. And so you all begin to make your way. I would like somebody to roll me a d20. Add nothing, just a d20.
I can't.
Not it.
11.
Not it.
I heard an 11. Okay. With an 11, you begin to make your way out of the city, and one foot after the other. Again, are we running or walking? What would you prefer?
I'm hauling.
Hauling ass.
I guess we
Definitely.
can run. We have to get out of there fast. No?
Yeah, if
I'll go
I'm
with the
like,
pace of the party.
yeah, if I have to carry stuff, I'll be a bit slower. But yeah, leaving.
That's
out
okay.
now.
Going as fast as you can. I'm assuming you all stay in together.
Yes.
I would like all of you to make me a quick deck save.
Oh.
As the ground beneath you begins to shake and rise up out of the ground, separating cracks in front of you. You have to attempt to jump a gap.
This is
I got
not a
5.
magical.
Not a magical effect.
That's a 12.
19.
I
19.
got a
saw both
5.
of those rolls. That was depressing. Can I make Soraya get over it?
Let me see what she
Can I
rolls.
use my roll to like throw her
Okay.
something?
You can if you'd like to stay behind.
Where am I?
I would rather her go home. Go home.
Okay, so you want to use your roll for her? What was your roll?
Yeah, my roll was math. Fuck. 7 plus 18. 18.
You're
plus
fine.
7.
She's fine. You kind of like pushing someone out from in front of a train. Push her. Okay, Drawson, what was yours?
16.
You're fine. Kingsley, what was yours again? 5. You're failing. Zernus, you chose to fail. Galliard.
I want to use the Astromancy Archive to add a 2 onto it, but it's only a 14.
14. A 14 succeeds. Maldet.
19.
You're fine. Radioactive purple rat baby.
7.
7. You fail. Tillsman.
25.
25. You're fine.
Whoa.
And Wick. 5.
Yes.
That was a fail. So we got Kingsley fail, Wick fail, Zernus,
Under the
because
actual
you
threat.
chose to push someone, you fail as well.
And then the rat.
And then the rat. So those of you that failed, you are going to take 8
John, I have a
Yes.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I have a class feature.
Uh-huh.
Roll an odd number. That doesn't matter. Never mind, we're fine.
Never mind. Okay. Those of you that fail are going to just take 8 bludgeoning damage as parts of buildings begin to rain upon your head. Also, so those of you that succeeded, jump the small gap as a crack begins to form and the ground where you were begins to raise up with those of you that did not make the gap. Are basically being risen up. Those of you that do make the jump, you see underneath the ground whirring gears and pulleys and metal and rope as there is a large machine underneath this, almost wearing this part of the city on its back. You don't see a face or anything like that. It's just this large thing with many legs that raises up out of the ground. I will say those of you that failed do still get across the gap. You just don't see this because you get bonked on the head. And then, you get bonked on the head and turn and see. So all of you made it across. It's just some of you took
Is
some
there
damage.
a way I can cover the rat from getting rained on by debris?
No, because you did use any other thing you could do to get Soraya across safely. So you take the damage, but you're all okay. And then this large automaton that rose the part of the city is going to begin to walk down the street and over the wall as you all begin to run again. I need a different person, not Meldet, to roll another d20.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Kingsley will. Okay. 14. You begin to run, no issue. You have to bob and weave between some people and, just to not run into anybody. There are people going this way and that, some people with carts and goods. It is pandemonium. Some of you were doing shopping earlier, but you stayed in a generally centralized area. Now going through the street, it is chaos here. A lot of people are getting out. There are still a lot of people here. This is a city of hundreds of millions of people. And maybe 100 million got out, which is a lot, but in the grand scheme, there's still so many people here. So you run. Something of note. A lot of the people you see running, women, children, the elderly, people who are possibly veterans, augmented limbs and things like that. It's a lot of those people heading in the direction you are, toward the train station. People who really couldn't care for themselves. And talking about like the infirm and stuff, and children, of course. So everybody's running in that direction. Eventually you reach the train station without issue. Only that small hiccup. It is a large train station. You see heading down the station and out in front of it, that is where your guys' vehicles are, where you're going. You see a lot of people loading onto the trains. This might get a little sad, I'm sorry. This is just the nature of what's going on. You see parents pushing their children onto the train and staying behind. You see a lot of people staying behind, but making sure that the people they care about get to safety. And then the train takes off, slowly at first, and then speeding up as it goes. A lot of people get told by some of the conductors and people loading on, you got too much stuff, you got to leave some of it behind. There are just piles of stuff, suitcases, some thrown open, some not, just sitting off to the side as people had to leave some of their belongings behind to make sure that at least you could get a little bit. Some people are fighting about it. Some people are full on brawling about it. Like, no, that's my space. Put my stuff on there. People are trying to keep the peace, but it's hard. And so you all continue. You eventually see these vehicles, and they are, again, large, legs in the back, wheels in the front, kind of mechanized land vehicles. And do you all get on and begin to go? Okay.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
they have designated drivers, so none of you have to drive. They have people meant for this, sort of like a carriage driver. There's not necessarily an engine that fires up like the walkers you were on in Altney and in the Scarred Lands. There's almost this hum of magical energy as the arcane engine fires up. And then the legs lower down. And yes.
I had a thought. Don't know if it's good or... But is there... fuck, I'll do it. Is there a child that hasn't gotten on yet that I can possibly...
No, the children were the first to be lowered, or to be put into the train, so no children. They are all safe. Yeah. Good thought, but they are all safe. They were the first loaded on before it went off. A lot of crying mothers, though, and grandmothers leaving their children so they could get to safety. Yeah. But
Question.
yes.
As we're like arriving, seeing all this chaos, you were mentioning how there were people like arguing, fighting on what would get on, who would get on, what's staying, who's is who's, stuff like that, right?
Correct. Basically just like who's is who, or not who's is who's, like I want my stuff to get on there over yours because I have more stuff than you and it's more important. That kind of stuff.
Gotcha. That's all.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything? Before continuing? Okay. So, legs lower, and they kind of pound into the dirt, leaving divots, just do, as they kind of start to go through the dirt. They actually have quite a bit of speed and actually are able to keep up with the train. You're informed by Kingsley's parents. You're heading towards... You want to go towards Bermsley. The train is also going that direction, and the best and safest way to do it is honestly just to follow the train. At least for a little while. You see another train leave the station pretty quickly behind this one. You guys go for about 5 minutes, can still clearly see the city. You're not at full speed yet because the train isn't, but you're staying pretty closely alongside it. Through the windows of the train, you can see some people laughing, some people crying, some people trying to distract themselves playing a card game or with blocks, or, you know, if they're a young child, reading, just trying to ignore what's going on. A few minutes more go by. That second train has gotten pretty far from the city at this point. Maldette, you have the highest passive perception. You see a shape above the city, a silhouette. And I'm going to say for narrative's sake, you all see it shortly after, but Maldette, you see it first. And Radioactive Purple Rat Baby, you have seen this before. You saw it in a vision. You saw it in a vision in Altney. A shape above the city. You can barely make it out at this distance. You're pretty far at this point. And like in your vision, it shoots down towards the ground. And in that moment, there was a blinding flash, but there's nothing. And you can tell this is a figure. This is not an object. This is a figure. And at that speed and everything, you're all thinking for a moment. The dream you had at the very beginning of the campaign, where you were all the gods, a Nier was fast. Maybe that's a Nier. You see a second figure come up to meet it. And they clash. And then more figures appear around them and begin to shoot beams of light into the central figure. Not the one that you think to be a Nier, but the other one. beams of multicolored light. Everyone in the train, you can almost hear through the windows and through the noise, gasps as they all look. And then there's a flash. You instinctively look away. You watch the windows on the trains darken as an enchantment to block out light takes hold. But even they start to flicker as it can't quite keep up with the flash. And as your eyes kind of, you look away, look back, your eyes kind of adjusting, the light dimming, there's smoke. There's so much smoke. It surrounds the figures. You can still see the figures in the sky with their light, but you see the smoke almost hits a wall, a dome that surrounds part of the city, not the whole city. The slums area and up. And it centers up around the spire. The upper city, where most of your homes were that lived there, is not within this dome. But the rest of the city is. And you watch as the smoke begins to billow up, red and orange and yellow and white, heat and fire from the center, bubbling up as it engulfs this area in the dome. You can no longer see the central city. And the floating, magically flying upper city begins to fall. You don't hear anything. You're too far away. But you just watch it, and it's almost comical. Almost like a child dropping a toy as it hits the top of the dome and just snaps in half and falls in pieces. And you can almost imagine if you were in that area right now. Bits of rubble from the upper floating city crashing down into the areas that are not covered are basically the farmland, is what's not covered. You can just imagine it raining down on crops that were freshly planted at this time of year. And the industrial sections, the factories, being crushed beneath manors, homes that you once might have lived in or had friends in. Government buildings where laws were passed, crushing the farmland beneath. You still see multicolored lights, not the light of the fire, that too, but you also see these multicolored lights, greens and blues, and colors that are out of place. And then they're gone. You blink and they're gone. There was no shockwave, there was no heat that you felt at this distance, no noise. Just that dome of smoke. That's it. And at a glance back at the train, once the lights dimmed and the train windows have become more transparent, the people who are laughing, the people who are crying, they all just are sitting there in shock. Just staring back. Most were silent. That's it. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. I guess you could say we came back with a bang.
Yeah, we did.
I hope
Awful.
See, and this is why you listen to the rabbit.
I love the consequences of my actions.
Uh-huh.
Remind me, little man, why we allowed you to live.
Plot
Honestly,
moments.
I wouldn't have, like Malbet wouldn't have just because.
Yeah, no,
Just
Zernas wouldn't
because.
have either. Why did we spare you?
I
That's
don't
a good
care.
question.
We never
That
had
is a
this
good question.
conversation. We kind of just
Glossed over it for now.
yeah, you literally like I stood up, I said we need to leave, and then we just went with it.
So,
Okay.
Nobody interrogated him.
I can't wait to have this conversation next session.
Very excited.
Or
A
whenever.
momentary
Up to you.
silence for the millions lost today. It's lonely sparking of a war, little man. This is all your fault.
It's fine. We're only gonna have all-out war.
Again.
Totally normal.
Well,
Honestly.
really quickly, I want to end the stream here. Thank you all for stopping by the Quiet Kanku. We'll have this again next session. Don't forget, you always got a seat here, unless you're in Kingsport, in which case you just became
Not anymore.
vaporized.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean,
There are no seats.
canonically, that is where the Quiet Kanku resided. So now I guess
Oh,
I guess the tavern owner who probably escaped has got to find a new location.
Oh, probably. Definitely stay back.